Hello and welcome to day 2 of the regional eliminators for the Nation versus Nation Pacific League. NvN, of course, is a team-based, objective-focused, arena-style competition in the same style as Counter-Strike or Rainbow Six. This is not a competition of RNG or kill points. Our teams must work together to secure the objective and win their rounds. The Pacific League, of course, has teams from the United States, Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and of course, China, all fighting it out for a prize pool of 10,000 US dollars. My name is Afraid, and I will be your master of ceremonies today. And I am, of course, joined by the incredibly handsome Cringe OCE. How you doing, mate?
Oh, stop it, you. I'm doing well, thank you. Looking forward to another amazing day of games. A battle of OCE today. Two OCE teams going up against each other, and looking forward to see who wants to try to get their hands on some of that money next weekend.
Should be a good duke out. We, of course, have team. Wait, so we have Team Sicario, and we also have, and I love this name, SEAL Team Panda. Because if it has two animals in the name, it's going to be good. So very excited to see what they're going to be up to. They will be doing Mode 1 today. Mode 1, of course, will take us over to Customs, fighting around the fortress and looking for the objective there. And then, of course, after the OCE challenging round, we will have a show match, actually, between the runners-up from our US versus US match yesterday, Team The Nest, will be going up against China's Team Never Stop. Of course, China and Korea have had a pass through into the semi-finals, which will, of course, take place next Saturday. And looking forward to see what they can put on for us today. Cringy, can you take us through the rules, though?
Absolutely. So today we're going to be playing on Custom. So same conditions as yesterday. One sniper rifle per team. Anybody else running assault rifles or SMG are restricted to a 1x optic. You're allowed to have one stimulant per person. So you'll see a lot of people running around with morphines. Got to remember they're not a stim. 4 grenades per person. No 338 Lapua, so we won't see any AXMCs or Mark 18s today. No KS-23s. No grenade launchers, no impact grenades, and no enhanced gear.
Wonderful, and that will mean that all of our competitors will be playing on an even playing field. The no enhanced gear is a nice little addition there, because they do drop in a few perks if you can get the repair off on them, but I don't know if it would really match up anyway compared to running a full durability item rather than something that has taken a bit of damage and been repaired. So I think it will be very, very exciting to see the types of loadouts that people have been bringing in. I expect we'll see more of your usual Slick and Hex, and obviously the Bastion with a slap plate has been a favorite. But we've also seen a mix of guns, a few M4s here, some HKs, the odd mutant, and of course, a big favorite with our US teams yesterday was the FAL, running those big 308 rounds. So very, very keen to see what they come up with. And of course, as we cut over to our ladder scene, we can see our matches from yesterday. Expensive Healthcare of the US taking the win over Team The Nest, moving through to our semi-finals next Saturday. Of course, we will have drops on for the semi-final and grand final rounds next Saturday and Sunday. Team Golden Tooth of Korea also moving through to the semi-final due to a technical disqualification of Team Dev. And of course, today we will see the matchup between SEAL Team Panda of Australia, New Zealand, against Sicario's Oceanic, offering the winner of that round will, of course, move through to next Saturday with the chance of taking part in that 10,000 US dollar prize pool. Team Never Stop China moving through to the semifinals as well due to a pullout from the other Chinese team. So a big last next week, and we will see the last match position coming through today. Of course, Cringy, can you take us through the people we are going to be watching duke it out today on Customs?
Absolutely. So today we have SEAL Team Panda. We have Jet, DK, Anixi, and Commander Panda. All very, very experienced players in their own right. And a new team, though. They're a fresh team. They haven't got much experience together. But I'm interested to see what they can make happen. And then the other team that we have today is Team Sicario OCE. with a few friendly faces over there for sure. Today we have Arden, absolute jet. We have Freddy, who's my labs carry, mind you. Yo-Yo Time, who recently was a winner of a major tournament himself. And Chuckles, who in my mind is one of the best players in the world, all of Tarkov. Currently grinding to 1 billion rubles, which is just absolutely insane to me, afraid.
Oh, that is, and we've seen him just time and time again running through streets and basically making as much money as he possibly can, but also a very, very accomplished player. Makes some amazing YouTube content as well. I know even with the far too many hours that I have, I do watch his videos and take tips from them all the time. But both of these teams, again, it does not come down to the individual, Cringy. It's all about being able to work together as a team, because any one of these players is, absolutely terrifying. But when you put them all together and then throw them at one another, well, mate, there are going to be fireworks.
Absolutely. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be... Yeah, I think we're in for some good games today. I really do. Team Sicario, amazing players. Team Panda, also amazing players. The only thing that goes against them is, they're a new team. I think their team was finalized roughly about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. They have been putting in the hours though, getting scrims down, practicing, trying to get that group together, a nice tight group there. But that's the only go against them. All the players today, lots of experience, well-rounded, and it should make some good gameplay.
It really should. And of course, customs will be our map of choice today. Both of our teams will be starting on opposite ends of the fortress building. Spawn point A will be next to the glass medical building, or more colloquially known as Crack House. Cringy. I know we had a conversation about whether or not that was Twitch TOS friendly or not, but
yep.
I can assure you I have checked. It is safe. And of course, Spawn B for the opposing team will be starting off against the wall over at the old gas station. So each team will have the same run into the fortress. And of course, that top fortress level will have a technical crate there that we can see on screen. And within that technical crate, one of our observers from Team NvN will be dropping in a 6-round grenade launcher into that box. So once we have reached the 7-minute mark, that box can be looted and a member of the team can grab that. Once you have fired off all rounds from that grenade launcher, and it doesn't matter you are the last person standing or a team are up, once that last shot goes off, your team has won the round and put an additional point up on the board. So Cringy, again, really, really exciting game mode. I don't know if we've ever actually seen anyone make it through to the end objective, right? We've seen a lot of PvP and a lot of people just going with the pure aim of taking out the opposing team. Do you think we're going to see that again today?
Look, I'd be very shocked if we see the grenade launcher be taken out of the crate today. Last season, I don't think it ever in daylight. I'm pretty sure it stayed in the crate the entire time, the entire season. And I think that's where it'll stay today. Due to the small area here around Stronghold with, one main focus in the middle of the map, it tends to just be a lot of PvP, and usually a team gets taken out, and I don't think anything will be any different today.
Well, that's exactly right. And we talked a little bit yesterday about the fact that the sniper player really, really can change the flow of every round here. We saw a little bit of that on labs yesterday, where players were trying to pick their angles based on the fact that there was one player running around with that ranged bolt action. And it really didn't sort of make a big difference on labs, but customs obviously much broader, right? You have a larger map area to work with, and you've got 3 players that can really only take those CQB fights. Really, a reflex is only sort of effective to that 50, 60 meter mark, but have that bolt action player means that you can actually come up with a whole host of new strategies. And do you think we're going to see people pushing into Fortress and running all 4? Are we going to see like a 2-2 split or a 3-1 split with that sniper player really moving around the outside? What are you expecting to see?
I'm expecting a lot of PvP inside Fortress today. I really am. I think once you're inside Fortress, it is very, very easy to lock down. Okay, there's lots of entrances, but a lot of them open you up to when you're entering the building, and you're just going to get slapped when you're trying to come through those entries. So I think if you can take control of the fortress, I think you set yourself up for victory there. That being said, you have to be careful where you're holding the angles from, because we've seen last season a few times when we were playing the other teams as well. The sniper just gets, all you have to see is a tiny little bit of head, and bang, you lose a player because the sniper is outside. They have all these long angles. There's lots of cover outside. And yeah, but no, I think you really want to get inside, take the fortress, hold it as tight as you can, and just play the defensive on this game mode. What about you, Afraid? What would you do?
Well, I mean, that was kind of my approach to it as well. Is I found that if you were able to get that early domination of the fortress, if you were able to get the early push in and secure that top floor, there were quite a few different aims you could hold and repel any assault from the opposing team. And that's even if you didn't manage to get those early picks, which, you know, we've seen that with the scrims so far. We've seen it in the previous running of NvN, which was primarily on mode 1 here at Customs, that, you know, people know where to throw their grenades to counteract any early push into the fortress. And often that would either slow down the push or even take out a player or two. I know we did some scrims earlier in the week where one of the Korean teams was able to take out 2 players on the initial push just from dropping a nade into the right spot. With that being said, though, I don't know if you remember, Cringy, in the previous NvN round, we did see that Team China actually did a timed push into Fortress. They hung back. Correct. They moved their sniper player around. They decided, you know what, we have 7 minutes. We know that we have 7 minutes on the clock. They cannot run up there. They cannot loot that box yet. They cannot take the win for this round until they hit that 7-minute mark and they can grab that GL out and shoot it off. Now, so what they did is they moved around and they were able to get 2 picks with their sniper player, and then they did a timing push with 3 minutes remaining on that timer. They were able to drop nades on the points that they knew were going to be held, and then they were able to push up stairs and the front stairs and secure the win, right? So, you know, it really is, there is not just one strategy for winning this game mode. Like, it really comes down to the strengths of your team, a real emphasis on the practice that you've put in together, the fact that you need that team cohesion. Not only that, but you also need the mechanical skill. I don't know about you, Cringy, but I did not realize until I was practicing for some of these game modes just how much, you know, you can actually change the way that you grenades, or that you can pre-aim corners and things like that. Did you do a lot of grenade practice leading up to the rounds of NvN that you did? How did you find that?
We did. I was actually going to touch on this a little bit because personally, I think grenades on this map are the game changer. Having a good sniper is a great help, but if you know where you can put those nades, you can change the round very, very quickly. We done a lot of practice last year as Team Sherpa with our grenade placement. We had nades off the rip. We had nades that we were bouncing off pillars that would land right where people were holding angles. We have nades that perfectly land on USEC stairs and stuff like that. Yeah, grenades are a big map, and I think we'll see a couple of grenade kills coming out here, Afraid. I really do.
Especially from Team Sicario, right? Like, I know that, you know, they've played this before. You know, half their lineup, Chuckles in particular, he has played this game mode before. He knows strategies. He's seen how the Korean teams played, and they really had a lot of these strategies on lock. So I'm expecting to see big things from Team Sicario. With that being said, I know that SEAL Team Panda, however, tried a number of different strategies, and they have been scrimming like mad. They have gone up against a couple of the Korean teams. I believe they played against the US team as well. So they have not only seen a lot of the counter strategy, they've actually come up with some of their own. So I will say that I did give them some pointers based on what we did as Team Sherpa in the previous running of NvN, and their response to me was, look, Afraid, we appreciate the strategy. We've taken a little bit of it on board that we thought was good, but you know what? We've got this. We have our own plans here. So I'm really excited to see. They might be pulling something out of the hat that we've not seen before. I'm really keen to see what they're up to.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? They gave you a bit of the cold shoulder, did they, Afraid? We appreciate it, but thanks but no thanks sort of deal, was it?
There was very much a thanks but no thanks. They and look, that is fair. They are all very much top level players. We are in the upper percentile of skills and tactics, right? And like I've been playing this for a long time, but again, being a little bit of an older gamer, a little bit over the hill, they went, you know what? We've got the Twitch name and everything cut over to our players now. We can see they are moving out to their starting locations. We will have Team Sicario starting off at spawn point B over at the old gas station. SEAL Team Panda will be starting off from spawn point A, right next to the glass medical building. Straight away, we can see them popping out all of their super waters, their max energies, and things like that. Cringy, why are they doing this? Why are they drinking all these different things that you would never take into an online raid?
Yeah, well, so the players are limited on what they can bring into raid, as I mentioned earlier. So you're only allowed to have one stimulant per round per player. So usually if you're playing an online raid, you might pop an SJ6, you might pop a Propitol, you might pop a Trimadol, you might pop all the stims you possibly can. You're not allowed to do that today. What they're doing is they're drinking all these food items which give you a buff. It may only be a minuscule buff, it may be a tiny little perk, but every single part helps today. Every single skill boost helps. Every single second counts. So you see people here drinking moonshines for the buff, super waters for the buff, max energies give you a buff. All that stuff just to give a little bit of endurance or a bit of strength or just anything like that, because every single thing is going to help here. And one thing that I'm also noticing here, Afraid, is I'm seeing some people bringing in extra armors here.
Actually, not a bad idea, particularly if you're running, these players, they're on their live accounts. These are on online servers, which means that you have much more options when it comes to picking your loadouts and things like that. A bit of a unique approach today. Elite strength, you can hold 2 guns without kind of negative effect. We can see Freddy there already with the Reese T on being the class 5, which is perfectly allowed. A couple of extra face shields there. He is running, I believe I can see a 5.56 M4 there, as well as the 308 foul. That extra time to kill. When you are talking about players of this caliber, if you need to have the shortest time to kill that you possibly can, Cringy, because ultimately it's not like an online raid. If you do not take those early shots and secure the kill, they're going to turn on you, they're going to flick, and they're going to drop you really, really quickly.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, here we go. We're getting ready. So I'm seeing a couple of mutants here. And we're off. Let's get into it, Afraid.
All right, let's see if we see that early push in or if we're going to see a time push in. So there is a very, very slight advantage to Team Sicario. If they want to be on the top level of Fortress the quickest, they are able to get to that rear ramp. However, they do run the risk of being countered by SEAL Team Panda. SEAL Team Panda know that they push right across and counter the jump up onto the rear ramp. Already seeing Freddy Smalls going
Freddy
down.
Smalls taken out by the early nade, like we mentioned.
They like M67, like that was planned by Commander Panda there. What a brilliant over the top. We do technical issue here with Jet. His stream has frozen. We will be following along with the others on SEAL Team Panda. Onyx up the very top. DK opting to stand out, looking for that counter. Panda down the bottom, counting that front push.
Oh, Chuckles is gone as well here, Afraid. It's a 4v2 currently.
That is a big upset. Sicario, the far more experienced competitive team here, may have underestimated just how established the team from SEAL Team Panda would be in this, as they are into a 2v4 situation, as you mentioned there. The Onyx has second landed. Commander Panda, DK also moving up to support his colleagues there. We have Jet there as their sniper player with that DVL on board, ready to counter any push up the rear ramp. They are in a very good
corner
position
that
right
Onyxie
now.
is holding here is a filthy Afraid. Look at this angle from Onyxie right here. Tiniest little crack in the sandbag, holding the stairs.
You got this, Jet.
Hey, what, if I died to that angle, I might be a monitor less, Afraid.
Hey, but we've seen this yesterday. Our teams have been practicing all these game modes. They know all the holding angles. We can see Yo-Yo putting shots up towards where Onyx is. That suppression effect on his screen there. These players, these are not your typical Timmies running around customs, hoping to get their bronze pocket watches, Cringy. They know the hold points. They know the peaks. They are prepared.
Absolutely. Yo-Yo is in a rough spot here. He's in stronghold by himself, but we have DK and a Nixie inside the stronghold with him, so he's stuck in a 2v1 situation. Arden is stuck outside with the sniper rifle, looking for the angle.
He's by train 2 somewhere.
Arden over by the toilets, looking for those peaks that we talked about earlier. We've seen the Chinese team come back from a much weaker position than this, but you know, SEAL Team Panda, they're not going to fall for this. They know where the long angles are. They know what they're doing here. We also saw Jet currently hiding in behind those barrels. He's playing it slow because he knows that that sniper player is out there, will be rotating around, will be looking for those picks to try and free up a bit of breathing room for his teammate in Yo-Yo time.
Absolutely. If Arden can get a pick here, it can well and truly put things back into play here. But as it stands with the 4v2, it is a dire situation for Team Sicario here. But lots of faith in Arden and Yo-Yo time, and interested to see what they can make happen here for sure.
We've definitely seen both of these players come back from even worse odds. I cannot count the number of times I've watched them go 1v4 and 1v5 on online servers, and they know that they all have the ability to do that. Arden moving around, we can see he is looking for that sniper player. No one has laid eyes, so they know that they need to be somewhere over towards the glass medical building. He's looking in through there, hoping to catch a glimpse, just a few pixels. That is all Arden needs to confirm where Jet will be sitting with that DVL.
Absolutely. They were actually incredibly close to each other there, Afraid. I've just seen it there. Jet was prone at those barrels. They were about 5 meters away from the Portaloo, where Arden was aiming up. Crackdown just then.
Yeah, 15.
They were almost standing on top of each other.
That's it. And the thing is, Jet would have absolutely heard the rotation from Arden. As Arden moves around, again, he's trying to look for another angle so that he can take out a member of SEAL Team Panda to allow Yo-Yo to get a push up those front open stairs, or even a rotation back out. Again, they do only have a set amount of time to make a play here, because ultimately, if they leave SEAL Team Panda up top there, they know that they will be able to loot those technical crates. They will grab that GL, they will fire those shots off, and they will take the win. Shots going across over at Arden. Jet has spotted him there.
I'm still good though.
But no shots landing. Arden continuing his rotation over towards new construction.
I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be giving away my position to Arden. That is for sure. You got to hit those shots when you're going to take them, because now that Arden has a rough idea where you are, he will try to punish you for it. He is a very experienced player, well-rounded with all types of guns, and if he spots you with his DVL, I'm not certain that he'll miss his shot.
Well, I don't think he will, because I mean, we can tracksuit on board. Again, this is not a private server. They do not get a free pass to that tracksuit. Arden has earned this tracksuit. He knows what he is doing with those bolt actions, those 308s. He has done hundreds of raids, hunting killer with very similar guns. So I certainly would not want to ever have any part of my PMC showing to Arden, because, mate, he is going to land those shots.
Absolutely. Arden pushing up close here, trying to help Yo-Yo to secure the fortress. Jet is still out back of the fortress. He's not going to have any angle on Yo-Yo or Arden here. So he's practically just AFKing, hoping for a miracle at the moment, because there's no one there for him to shoot, Afraid. He's got to get moving. He's got to go and help the team.
That's right. Arden has pushed in, so this is a really clever play. Arden and Yo-Yo together, they know that they can cut corners. They can slice any of the holding positions that SEAL Team Panda will be in. They know that that counter is there. We just heard the call 55 seconds before they have the opportunity to pull that grenade launcher out of the technical crate. They are on limited time now. The grenades coming out from both of these players. What they want to do is they want to get SEAL Team Panda to start moving. We're seeing that Onyx moved off of his holding position. He is now in the open. They would have heard that audio. Arden pushing up the stairs, getting ready, but going down to Onyx. This is now a 1v4 situation.
Has Onyx taken both of them out here?
I think he has.
Onyx has taken Yo-Yo and Arden in the same spray. They have pushed up the stairs one after each other, like soldiers in a march, and they have been punished for it. Unfortunate there, but may have been the only play they had.
Now we know what they do.
They made the play they needed to. I think it won. They had rotating around the outside, and he was looking for angles. I don't know if they realize that they've taken out all players.
No, SEAL Team Panda don't realize that they've won this round.
That opening grenade.
I'm guessing that Chuckles and Freddy
Crazy.
were
So
both
round
grenaded
push
and they
actually,
haven't realized it's happened.
No, it's
Let's
like
go!
an angle.
I know Freddy was grenaded, so they may not realize that Freddy's dead, and they may also not realize that
Oi,
that
you
Chuckles is gone as well. I'm not sure how Chuckles
Yeah.
went down though, so they may know that. But once
They're
again,
probably
pointed it out at the
eschewing-
start of Fred.
they're probably
Those
eschewing
early
off
nades,
the-
that
off the rip as
M67
well.
straight over the top of Fortress,
That
timing was just
instantly punished Freddy, who's one of their best players.
Well, and the
I cringy. I love seeing the shenanigans when they hear from their observer. So both of our teams have an observer from the NvN team in with them, giving them updates on when the round is over or when they're okay to sort of grab that grenade launcher. You immediately see it. Panda jumps into the crate, pulls that GL out, fires it across the front, and then all of the teams into a blood path turn into each other and go straight back to the lobby, ready to load back in again. But cringy upset, mate. 4-0. 4-0.
Yeah.
Right, in terms of players up, meaning that SEAL Team Panda have taken the first round of the OCE regional bout of NvN. Can you believe that? Is that what you were expecting?
No, honestly, I mean, don't get me wrong. They're incredibly good players, but as mentioned before, they're a fresh team. They don't have as many hours playing together. Arden and Freddy play together, I don't know, probably a couple of days a week. They have hundreds of hours put together. The Sicario team played together last season as a team. Chuckles, Arden, and Freddy were all on the team. Yo-Yo is a new addition to that team, but Yo-Yo is an incredibly mechanically gifted player. If he gets those shots, he's going to get them shots. And I'm genuinely surprised that SEAL Team Panda have just clean sweep Team Sicario in round 1, afraid.
Look, and I will say that while that was an upset when it comes to competitive experience, you know, Sicario are the much more established team. The fact of the matter is, right, they will adapt. Both of these teams, again, very talented players. They have a number of strategies open to them. So Team Sicario will definitely be looking at what just happened, as they will now be starting from spawn point A over at the Glass Medical Building. We will see their strategy really coming into play. They know that SEAL Team Panda have those opening nades on lock, because we saw that. We dropped a couple of players before they even got into the fight, right? It was really just that delayed push in, and Customs is a highly technical game mode. So again, this is not a down and out. This is not the expectation of what we're going to see in the future matches. I actually wouldn't be surprised, Cringy, if we see Sicario taking out round 2 on top, because they have quite a few different strategies for the push from spawn point B. The question will be, do you think they're going to do that early push up the back ramp? Or do you think we're going to see them doing that sort of time, that delay in?
I think Sicario will fight back here. They'll fight back harder, and if this was a betting game, afraid I'd be putting money on Team Sicario to try to level up the scores here for sure. No, I don't think they'll slow down at all. I think they'll rotate Arden out to try to get the pick with that DVL, and Chuckles, Freddy, and Yo-Yo will try to get into Stronghold, because if they can... So the issue was last round, they lost Freddy and Chuckles immediately. It was 20 seconds in, they were gone. If you can get Freddy and Chuckles into Stronghold, that is a different game. And
exactly. No one has the point fire
so
skills that
hard
Chuckles does
to take Stronghold from Team Sicario if they get it. If they're in there first, you can pretty much give the round to them already, because if you've watched Chuckles, you will see in between raids that man is sitting there on aim labs practicing his aim. He puts so much hours into this game trying to make sure that he can be the best that he can possibly be, and it's going to be hard to take Stronghold from Chuckles. So if he gets in there, they're in trouble, afraid.
You're exactly right there, and I think that that will definitely be a big game changer if they can get their really, really strong CQB players into. It will be very hard for SEAL Team Panda to retake it, which is what really got them the win there, right? The fact that they were able to get in and they were able to dominate the fortress building. That being said, I actually think there is a bit of an ace in a hole, right? When it comes to SEAL Team Panda. So DK, who is a member of SEAL Team Panda, is actually originally from Korea. right? So
Okay.
he has moved over to Australia. He is working here locally. He's been here for a few years, and he has joined the Oceanic offering that is SEAL Team Panda. But he still has very, very strong ties into a lot of the competitive teams from Korea. And I can tell you now from the group chat that we've been on in Discord that he's talking to the other team. Perhaps didn't make it through the qualifiers for the bout, but they were passing him a lot of little tactics, little tips and tricks that we haven't seen
Okay.
for any of the US, Chinese, or Oceanic groups. So I think that even though we might be relying on Team Sicario getting their really strong CQB PvP players into the fortress, I think there might be a few surprises still in store from SEAL Team Panda when it comes to that whole strategic element.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. They might little ace up the sleeve there, maybe afraid.
Again, and this is what I said. This is not a game. This is not a game of individuals, Cringy. This is about being able to work with your team, being able to play the strategies out. And we saw that immediately. The fact that SEAL Team Panda got into the top of the fortress, but they kept Jet out there, and they had him. He was on the early push. So for those that might not have seen it, Jet did the rotation behind Glass Medical. He ran over to the mount, and that was a very, very measured push, believe it or not, right? Because where he was at the back part of Fortress meant that he had a scope directly across the back of the Fortress building, because Spawn B in the customs mode actually has a very, very slight advantage when it comes to getting to the top floor. If you have that spawn point B and you're able to do the jump through of the train carriages, you can actually be on the top floor of Fortress before anyone from spawn point A can actually do that. But it does mean that you are exposed to that second mound, that little grassy knoll behind the fortress. And the players in SEAL Team Panda, they knew this. They knew this straight away. So they sent Jet around there. And once he was down, once he was there, he called it. He said, no one has pushed up the back ramp. No one has done it. No one is there. We don't need to worry about that, which meant that the rest of the team were able to get to the top floor, establish themselves, hold their angles, really reinforce. And then he laid down and he waited. And you know why? He waited because he wanted to hear the rotation. So it was an incredibly technical, incredibly clever play from SEAL Team Panda. And I'm just hearing we are about to cut back over to our players, Cringy, as both teams will be swapping over to the opposite spawn point on what they had before. And look, really excited to see what happens, what Team Sicario are going to do going into round 2.
Yeah, looking forward to it. They are, Team Sicario they're not gonna lay down here, afraid. They're gonna fight hard. They're gonna come back with vengeance, and I'm interested to see what happens here.
They will. And the fact that we look in that bottom left corner right now, we can see Freddie Smalls there. He has that Reese T, the Zook. He has 2 spare visors. He is here with purpose, with intent. He is here to throw down, to fight. That is what he is, a soldier. And that is what he is planning to do.
The damage output that Freddy has just personally here, I'm looking over there. That looks like a mutant with a drum round on it. Drum mag on the mutant, spitting out BP. And then he has an M1A with a 50 rounder as his backup gun there, afraid. Look at that. Look at Freddie Smalls' kit here. The Reese T, the Zook, the mutant with 73 round drum mag, and the 50 rounder M1A.
And the Zraichi, can we just say that he's also wearing the Zraichi face mask as well? Like, that is, I'm loving the little subtle flex that we have from all of our players, just to go, hey everyone in the crowd, we are not your 99th percentile. We are your 1 percentile. Yep. We go out to the lighthouse. We juke it out. We have tracksuit. We have meta guns. We have max skills. This is a game that you will want to be watching. Take that notepad out. Watch what we do. Maybe you might learn something.
Absolutely. And as stated yesterday, afraid, you and I are both big fans and strong believers of this, that grip is everything.
That's right, and I think it would be very interesting seeing the, we've seen a lot of the full auto 308 guns, but to see the what is that, the RSAS? Is it an RSAS or an M1A that he's running there?
Freddy's running an M1A, and then somebody from SEAL Team Panda is running an RSAS, I believe.
The RSAS is actually a really good choice there. I mean, I know it doesn't have that full auto, the party switch that the FAL has, but the RSAS does have really strong point fire. As our teams are now pushing out of their spawns, we
here we
see
go.
Freddy with the run, Yo-Yo through the run, also through that car park. Chuckles moving to the right-hand side. Again, probably moving into that same counterpoint that we saw from Jet in the previous round. Onyx, what an interesting play. Here's the jump over here, getting that early scope down through the middle, looking for the bridge. They learned that from Team China. We saw that in the scrims before. DK, nade out to slow it down. We have, as we cut back over to...
They're pushing up ramp.
Team Sicario, Yo-Yo getting that push into the front. Freddy Smalls already in there, looking out. Arden still moving around the glass medical building, trying to get those long angles. DK is already up the top. They did get that
Both
early
teams
hold,
are in
like I
stronghold
mentioned.
here. We're going to have an early stronghold battle.
There are so many grenades going off, Cringy. So very many.
Closed.
Oh, grenades are key here, Afraid. Absolutely. You can get people moving. You can get them while they're holding their angles. As this, grenades are the play here. Chuckles throwing that grenade up really high there, trying to get the stairs over the front of Stronghold there.
We're hearing the call out from Team Sicario that they believe they have dropped one member of SEAL Team Panda. Second one taking heavy damage. We can see Yo-Yo taking many hits to the thorax. Nice and red there, but not taking him out. Onyx with the spray down.
Like outside Tarkov.
Oh, I think Freddy may have lost his head here. He has. Freddy has lost his head. He has the bucket on it to protect it, but it is gone. That head has been blacked out.
I'm watching container side for you guys.
But I think we may have seen the Reese coming into play and really keeping him in the match here. That head top ahead, no damage to the face shield. So the 2 extra on board that he has. As we cut back over to SEAL Team Panda, we can see 3 of our players up top. Onyx on the rotate, around the back, still on the old gas side. But again, they've Cringy, they've been able to take that top spot, the top floor of Fortress. Are we going to see a repeat of the previous round here?
Well, the second floor is very hard to take once it has been being defended, Afraid, and that is where the grenade launcher is. So, a bit of strife here. They have to get upstairs and they have to get up there quickly. Going to be incredibly hard with Freddy missing his head, though. He's going to go down very quickly with that blacked head.
We can see they are taking that spot behind the sandbags again, looking down towards the front open stairs, but it feels like a risky move, Cringe. We did see that Yo-Yo was able to pre-fire it in the previous round. They are very aware. Hold points up there. I don't think they're going to fall for it twice.
Yep. Yeah.
Just make him to push up the stairs. He's playing aggressive here. He is just below Commander Panda. I don't know if he realizes it.
But again,
Commander Panda is at the other stairs. My mistake.
Definitely watching proper close.
you can hear the Chuckles' tone. He is so calm making this push. He's clearing the angles, he's peeking up, but he's come back down because they know that they will need to do a time push together. They need to try and get SEAL Team Panda off all of those hold points, right? It's going to be absolutely key for them at this stage.
Absolutely. They've got to work together as a team here and clear both time so that they don't have the flank onto them from behind.
I've had no eyes. Probably trying.
I don't know if they're out of nades. Arden could change his angle here with the sniper, which may make a big difference. Interested to see if he does that. Have we lost anybody from SEAL Team Panda yet, Afraid? Do you know?
I believe they may actually still be up in a 4-person scenario. I'm actually having confirmation that all 4 of them are still currently up.
We are still in a 4v4 situation.
Yeah. I want to go through tractor food.
We can see there are 2 in the back, I believe. Chuckles and Yo-Yo Time currently in USEC. Chuckles making the rotate around, taking shots. I believe that may have been Onyx that was doing the rotation around, just trying to get that detail, get that audio, understand where everyone in Team Sicario was.
He's definitely Tug crate. Tug or like the crates there.
Chuckles is hurt down the bottom here.
Freddy
also
see if he pushes
hurt.
out. If you nade in there.
I'm holding ramp now.
So we are now in a
confirmation.
3v4.
Nixie is gone, Afraid.
We saw that the rotate around the base from Chuckles again. You know, all 4 of them are down the bottom, and again, it just shows how cohesive these teams are. The fact that Chuckles immediately, that is not a member of my team. I need to put shots onto them. He did not fall for that at all.
DK, Commander Panda, and Jet are all upstairs here, Afraid. This is going to be rough on Sicario.
They're at USEC, bottom of USEC. One's at the back.
Oh,
We can hear
Jet's
the-
gone. Jet has fallen.
I think there's 3
That brings
alive.
it down to I believe a
4v2 here.
No,
Afraid.
2. Yeah, it is. It is a 4v2 again.
4v2.
You cannot count Team Sicario out. They are just such a talented and strong team. You know, we saw them go 4-0 in the
Anyone
first
still
round,
at
but
open?
they've come back in a big way. They went, you know what? It's fine.
Can't say, I'm
You've
at
taken the
Panda,
top
I'm in
floor.
a second.
That's okay. We know that with all 4 of us up,
Yeah, 'cause
that
I
we
might
can
come
make
up
that
and
push up.
come
We know that we
in-
can
in
take this back from
rates.
you.
Absolutely. As I stated earlier, Sicario aren't just going to lay down and die here.
Unless
They
he's hiding
will make
outside
miracles
somewhere.
happen.
Like close.
And
Yeah.
we've just seen it.
He didn't come at my
I
side.
think SEAL
not that
Team
I see him,
Panda
I'm gonna come in
had
crates
taken
now.
the top level, were holding it tight, and they've still managed to secure a 4v2 situation
Alright, I'm
here
in.
while being the underdogs in the fight.
And SEAL Team Panda have to be panicking at this stage, right? Yes, okay, they have 2 players up. They have the top floor. But the reality is they still need to search those technical crates to find that GL and get it off, knowing that when the Team Sicario will be watching that
Let me go
timer,
first, Freddy.
they know when they will be able to open that technical crate and grab the GL. And you can guarantee that they will not be given the bandwidth to actually go in and shoot that GL off. They will be coming up and they will have absolute
Yep,
bloodshed in
we
mind.
all good?
Absolutely. I
Alright.
think we might be seeing
Yep,
a attempt
on my
from
go.
Team
Go, Freddy.
Sicario to get upstairs here soon. Nades are going out. I'm hearing the communications. Here comes the push.
Sending Freddy up with the black
He's
head.
right side.
Again, a good trade sacrifice. They have secured the top. Arden getting those shots off with the Reese T. Freddy
Oh, that
doing
might
the
have been
same. DK still up. We can see him trying to hold that top
dead.
floor all by himself over towards the ramp. We are now in a 2v2 situation. Arden down. Freddy is still up.
Got him.
Commander Panda, we see in the inset down the bottom left, has also dropped. DK still up. Going down
DK
right
down.
there.
Has Freddy just clutched this with no head?
I think he may have cringy.
Oh my
Freddy-
god, afraid. Freddy has pulled this together with no head. He has played that entire round with his head blacked out and has just absolutely clutched up with the M1A.
Unbelievable, cringy. Unbelievable. I cannot believe what we just saw. Again, round 1, we said that before, right? That top floor is so OP, but if you're able to make that timed push and you know where you're holding, we've seen like Freddy pushed up there. He had no head. Any shot, any fragmentation, he was down and he was out. But they knew where they needed to be. They moved together. They had a strong strategy. They knew the tactics they needed to retake it. And they did. They turned it around in a matter of, what was that, 15 seconds, Crindy?
Unbelievable. It's like, yeah, 15 seconds maybe a little less even, afraid, honestly. But just, yeah, well played by both teams there. Like, credit to both teams. SEAL Team Panda held that incredibly well, considering it was a 2v4 situation. But as we said, Sicario coming back, leveling up the scores. They wanted it and they got it.
They did. We cannot count either team out here. And the thing is, SEAL Team Panda will now be taking back what they saw there and going, okay, well, perhaps we cannot rely on just holding the top. They will now be thinking about, as we go back to the opposite spawn point, are we going to try and do a replay of the previous round, knowing very well that Team Sicario, they saw those early nades. They know what the push is going to look like. They know that they're going to need to approach slightly differently. I think we're going to see something a little bit left of field from both of our teams, right, Cringy? What are you thinking?
I think both teams are going to change it up here. I think we might see something completely different from both teams. But
Definitely.
We're just going to have to wait and see, afraid, see what happens.
That's it. So we are going to cut for a break right now, but we will be back in a few minutes. Be sure to hang about for the second half of the OCE versus OCE qualifying rounds. Hello and welcome back to the OCE versus OCE qualifying round of the Nation versus Nation Pacific League tournament. We've just seen the first 2 rounds of Team Sicario and SEAL Team Panda duking it out for their opportunity to represent the Oceanic region in our semi-finals next weekend. And we have seen both take a win, meaning that it is still anyone's match. We have 2 more rounds to go in this set, so it could go either way here. We are going to see this go way through to the finishing line. Really matches so far. Cringy, what are you thinking? What are you seeing?
Honestly, it's just unbelievable from both teams here, Afraid. Both teams are playing incredibly well. You can tell both teams have really thought out a structure of what they're going to do. They've planned ahead. And it's just both 2 rounds so far, both unbelievable, great gameplay, great pushes, great strategy, and it's just unbelievable so far. I'm looking forward to 2 more great rounds.
Of course, we saw a really strong opener from SEAL Team Panda in round 1, where they were able to get the nades over the top, taking out 2 players from Team Sicario, meaning that they were able to dominate by taking that top floor on Fortress. Again, round 2 though, however, they were able to get up to that top floor, but Sicario showing that they knew what they were doing when it came to retaking the top floor. They picked a timing attack, they all moved together, and they were able to re-secure that top floor from SEAL Team Panda and secure the win in that second round, which means that, again, going into round 3, will it be a repeat of round 1? Will we see those opening nades? Or do you think Team Sicario will completely change their approach here? Are we going to see a whole new strategy? Are we going to see a lot of earlier nades? Do you think they're going to go for that counter on the rear stairs? Or do you think they're going to slow it right down and do a very delayed push in?
I think we might maybe see a change up from Team Sicario. They might slow it down a little bit and try to go for those picks. Freddy is not going to want to get naded off spawn again. Knowing Freddy semi-well, he did not enjoy that one bit. It would have really got to him for sure. He wouldn't be happy. So he may slow that down a little bit, try to dodge those M67 bombs off the spawn. But I think SEAL Team Panda will play the exact same way, because they've seen success from getting up in there first, taking that top level and holding it. And I think we'll see that from them again.
So again, one thing, if you are in the crowd and watching, we are looking to see Jet doing counter, moving around the back side of the glass medical to try and counter an early push from Team Sicario up the rear ramp. He will probably drop down next to that grassy knoll again, listening for any rotational audio. Again, Arden, however, was very, very close to him in that early opener. He was over with that DVL sniper rifle. Again, our team's only allowed a single optic, and it must be on a bolt action per team. So we had Jet at that mound, watching over the back of the stairs, the ramp going into the back of Fortress. We had Arden behind the toilets, mere meters from one another, making calls to one another. And I believe that both of our teams have deployed. We're about to cut over to them now as they run out to their spawn locations.
The players will get over here into their spawns. They'll start drinking their moonshines and their super waters and all that good stuff, getting all the perks that they can possibly get. And then we'll not be far away from send-off, and they will get straight into the action here, Afraid.
They will. And again, both of our teams here today in these re-qualifiers are duking it out for the chance to represent the Oceanic region, Australia, New Zealand, Micronesia. They are looking to take that spot in the semi-finals. They will have the chance to play for a share in 10,000 US dollars. And I think that is what, 15,000 Australian dollars. That is not a small prize pool, Cringy. I can tell you now, I would be very happy to take a share.
Oh, a couple of afternoons of Tarkov. You know, a bit of PvP, a bit of fun, and have your chance of winning a couple of $1,000.
Yeah, I think it was.
Who wouldn't want that? I don't know a single Tarkov player that wouldn't want a chance to make a couple of grand playing some Tarkov on a Sunday afternoon.
I can think of worse ways to end my weekend. That's for sure. And of course, this is day 2 of 4. Next weekend, Saturday, 1 p.m. daylight savings time in Sydney. And then again for the grand final, 1 p.m. on the Sunday, I will be casting again from PAX, believe it or not. We will have Twitch drops enabled. Not only on this channel, but also over on the NvN eSports team. And I don't drops enabled on the Chinese Mandarin relay stream as well. But again, if English is not your first language and you would like to watch this in Mandarin, we have live streams up for both of those. And next weekend, they will also have drops enabled.
There's nothing.
Not sure if this is a gear change here from Arden that we're seeing, afraid, but Arden is rocking the Reese T and the Bastion. He has a helmet switch in his bag, depending on the situation. The Bastion with the headset when he's out in the open trying to get those audio cues and sniping. And then he also has a Reese T for when he goes in and pushes the stronghold.
Go.
Our players are out. Freddy immediately moving over towards the power factory. I think he's going to do the jump over here. And he has. We can see he's done the jump over. This is a strategy I've not seen before, Cringy. The rest of Team Sicario pushing through the gate. As we see SEAL Team Panda, 2 moving to the right-hand side, and 2 moving to the front. The classic 2-2 split. Jet in position, nades out, trying to counter that early push like he did in the previous round, jumping up onto that knoll, like I mentioned earlier. Arden has jumped up, getting himself into a good sniper position. Yo-Yo pushing in with Freddy Smalls into the fortress. Chuckles doing a delayed push in. He is holding around the back of the fortress there, looking for anyone countering. He is looking straight across where Jet is. We may see a bit of a tussle between the two of them.
One ramp, he's fucked up. One generator.
We have Onyx up top. Right now, Yo-Yo time, pushing into USEC stairs. DK across the front, watching those open stairs. We are seeing quite a few biffos here, Cringy. And for anyone that doesn't know what that is Aussie colloquialism for a punch-up or a fight. But Onyx is back in. Freddy, I'm just hearing Freddy has lost his head, Cringy. I feel like this is his meta. He doesn't need his head.
You at second floor?
Yeah, I'm on second.
At open?
Freddy trying to prove that he's
work.
the ultimate Chad, playing the tournament with no head. Unbelievable.
Probably. Yeah.
Oh, Yo-Yo has
Yo-Yo.
fallen. 4v3 situation here now, afraid.
And then at the back somewhere.
This is a good situation, Team Panda, to be in, Cringy. DK in front armory room. Freddy Smalls rotating around, getting those nades up top. Not realizing that SEAL Team Panda do not actually have control of the top. We do see that we did have one player, DK, was up the top. Yo-Yo time back in his stash. Commander Panda outside, still on the glass medical side. Freddy Smalls holding those front stairs. Arden moving around with the DVL, clearing, still hunting for Jet. He is looking for Jet. He knows that he's out there. He is looking for those long angles, those sniper shots. Cringy, we just seen Freddy opening up with that M4.
Is that, no, that's...
Yeah, unbelievable here. Chuckles has no legs.
Yeah.
Freddy is going absolutely ham with the M1A again. Anixi is stuck upstairs by himself. I believe Jet is still outside laying on the hill. Maybe Jet trying to get a tan today, maybe, afraid. Not sure.
Oh, he's certainly basking in the sun. However, we can see Chuckles, bottom right-hand screen, no legs missing. He's got the painkillers off. I'm wondering if he had a tussle with Jet out the back there.
He may have.
You can hear that loud M1A,
the
call of he's dead.
Where are you?
Chuckles is in a rough situation here.
Yeah, I'm coming in behind you.
Freddy Smalls
Yeah, I'm
is
with you, I'm
gone.
with you.
Commander Panda has fallen also. DK down.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm top, bottom open.
DK down,
There's one top
upstairs.
Oh, bottom open. Gotcha.
Arden making the call. He knows that Onyx is up there. He's peeking through. He's like checking for any sliver, a single pixel out of place, and he will take the win. We can see there, inset, bottom left. Onyx is rotating around. He's got that creep walk. They're about to lay eyes on each other. But no, Arden moving forward, Cringy. They were like milliseconds from seeing each other.
That was so close there. Arden wasn't even looking. Arden has gotten very lucky there that Anixi hasn't seen him.
One.
Oh,
Top and open.
Arden has just taken Anixi out. He's down. It is a 2v1 situation here. Jet holding the back stairs.
Yep.
No, he is
Good.
now
I'm pretty sure
rotating
that sniper's
over.
still outside too.
He has to try and hold
Okay,
3
yeah.
approaches.
Good one,
3.
Good one.
You can see the 60 rounder in that M4. He is opting to go for the high capacity, not
He's
using
most
that
likely a
DVL,
sniper.
not swapping his gun over. The
The
timer is running down. We can see that there are two players down the bottom, Arden and
Yes, sir.
Chuckles together. This is not a lineup that I would ever want to go 2v1 against.
Oh,
You can
no
see
way.
Jet watching those front stairs. He knows that they're both there, but he knows that there are two of them. He is laying down in a position that allows him to hear anyone coming up behind him with enough time to counteract it. Chuckles and Arden in that front armory room. They are taking a moment to put their lives back together.
Arden dropping the CMS for Chuckles here. They know they have the time. Jet can't take that GL yet. They know they have time. Chuckles is going to try to put his arms and his legs back on here. Make sure he's at his best health that he could possibly be before making the push, because you don't want to get shot in those blacked out legs and just fall over, that's for sure.
Can we take a moment to appreciate that Chuckles has opted to run the double M4, 2 identical builds there, both with 60 rounders, because remember, the change to your sidearm than it is to reload, and your sidearm might also be an M4, so not a bad place for Chuckles to be in.
Look, I wouldn't be able to win a fight against Chuckles with 2 M4s if I had 2 grenade launchers, afraid.
It is true.
He is a deadly things, and yeah, no. I think that is a perfect setup for Chuckles, honestly.
They know that there is still enough time for them to get those heals up. The fact that it is a 2v1, they do not want to spare Jet any quarter in the exchange that is about to happen. We can see that there are still a couple of Vogs on board with Chuckles. I don't know if Arden still has any nades there. I would assume that he would at least have 1 or 2 remaining. Our players are allowed to bring 4 throwables into the raid.
Arden has 3 grenades here, I can see, afraid. They are currently bound. He has each of his nades on a single key each. He has 2 Vogs and an F1 grenade, if I'm seeing correctly.
And the thing is, we've seen that. We know that Team Sicario are just on point with those grenade throws. They know that they can drop them anywhere that SEAL Team Panda might be trying to trench themselves into. And Jet is in a fairly classic position, although we can see him creeping around, because remember, that creep walk audio is very quiet right now. So it would be possible for someone to creep walk up the USEC stairs, those enclosed stairs at the back, see them. But he is expecting the push into the front open stairs. We can see Arden moving into it now. Moving in there. Going down. Jet has taken the kill. Arden is now 1v1. Chuckles moving up.
No!
But going down. Chuckles
He got
again.
him. Chuckles.
Just keep pushing.
And that's it, right?
Wow. You know, I think what the play was there from Team Sicario, afraid, is I'm pretty sure Arden straight up knew what was going to happen, and what they've done there is they've sent Arden up. They've sent Arden straight up the stairs. He's gone up, and he has gained that location and that audio of where the last remaining person was. And then Chuckles has followed up a few seconds after, trying to maybe catch Jet in a reload or a rotation and punish Jet for it. Well played by Team Sicario there.
It was incredibly close, so cringy. We saw Jet almost managing to get the spray transfer from Arden over to Chuckles, but like we said before, Chuckles, his point fire is just ridiculous. It is, the man is a human aimbot, and if it was, I think, anyone else in that position, you're right. The right decision there was send Arden up first. Arden, again, very capable player. He might have been able to get the pick on Jet straight off the bat. But they knew, with the way that Chuckles can react and the way that he does not need sights, he knows exactly where those bullets are going to land. He was able to immediately switch over to Jet, get those shots on point, and we saw him ultimately taking the win. The thing is, that was still a very risky play. We saw Chuckles taking heavy damage. I think he went straight back to having, like, both legs were gone. One arm was missing. His stomach was red. His thorax was amber. Like, there was nothing in it. That could have gone very, very wrong for Team Sicario to push up the front stairs, but ultimately, it paid off for them, cringy.
Yeah, look, it could have gone incredibly bad for them, but, you know, sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit, afraid, and it's worked out for him this time, and, you know, Chuckles is enjoying the Tim Tam.
He certainly earned that one, that's for sure. And like, it was so close. We saw just trades back and forth, both teams coming out with, you know, a kind of new strategy. We saw Jet going back to where we expected to see him. He was on that rear mound looking over the back ramp, trying to get that knowledge, that understanding, that information on where Team Sicario were going to try and push up from. But unfortunately, even though that was a brilliant play, Sicario were not falling for the same play that we saw in round one. They made sure that they moved away from the initial grenade push. They moved away from the spot that they knew that Jet was going to be. But Cringy, I don't know about you, but I was incredibly stressed when I saw Jet laying down on that mound, listening for that audio behind, not realize Cringy was that Chuckles was directly across from him at the back of the fortress, and neither of them seemed to trade with one another. Like, I cannot believe that happened. What were you thinking then?
I was stressed for him. There has been so many close calls so far in these first 3 rounds where they've almost been on top of each other. We just seen it then. Jet was almost staring directly at Chuckles, didn't see him. We seen Arden at the bottom of the stairs with a Nixie just above him, looking down the stairwell, and has not seen Arden, who was, you know, a few millimeters away from showing his head to a Nixie, who could have been taken. He could have taken Arden down straight away there. There's so many close calls. It's been intense so far, Afraid. Very, very intense first 3 rounds.
You're not wrong there. And again, I think this is where the competitive pedigree of Team Sicario is really coming into play. The fact that they were able to see what happened in round 1 and 2, where SEAL Team Panda prioritized taking the strong vantage point at the top of Fortress. They went, you know what, that's fine. That's okay. We are perfectly on board with you taking that top floor because we know that we can counter you. We know that we can take that back. We know that we can do that slower play in. We know that you've got your grenades on point. We're not going to put ourselves in a position where we're going to contest you straight off the rip. And ultimately, that meant that they went into a situation where it was a 4v4. And Sicario, they showed us in round 2. They showed us in round 3, right? That if it is a 4v4 situation, that they have the strategies for the retake. They have the mechanical skill where they can do those trades. They are happy to give up a little bit of ground, knowing that they can take it back later, which means we now have Team Sicario on 2 points, SEAL Team Panda on 1 point. We do have another round to go. So SEAL Team Panda will be pulling out all the stops to try and level out the playing field, get that 2-2, go into that overtime. Cringy, what are we expecting in round 4?
You see, I'm not sure if SEAL Team Panda here are going to try to slow things down and go for the pick, or they're going to stick to their guns and just play the way that they've been playing and, you know, try to repeat round 1. But, you know, it's their game to lose at this point. Team Sicario are up by a point going into the final round. SEAL Team Panda need this win. So, yeah, look, I don't know what I'd do if I was in their situation. Do you slow it down and try to get the picks and, you know, try to play the more safer approach, or you just stick to what you've been doing and hope it works out for you and just run in there, guns blazing, throw those M67s and just try to get them early picks and then hold down the fortress?
It's a good point. And I wonder if they will take that on board. You know, we've seen Team Sicario have been able to get those 2v1s in almost every situation. And the fact that SEAL Team Panda have prioritized taking the point of interest, they want to try and get 3 players top floor of the fortress, which means that they have to be individuals at each holding point. Someone needs to watch USEC stairs, someone needs to watch open stairs, someone needs to be watching the ramp up the top, which means that Sicario know that if they stack any of those hold points, that ultimately they're going to be pushing themselves into a 2v1 or a 3v1. They know that both times we have seen that SEAL Team Panda having their sniper player Jet around the outside, right? They know that he is not doing that early push in. We've seen Arden in both of the rounds where he has been running that sort of slower push into the center. He will go around, he will scope out, he will spend 30 seconds hunting for Jet. He knows that he's out there. He's had the calls from his teammates. He knows that he will be on the outside, but he will only spend a certain amount of time before going, you know what? I think he's hiding away. I think he's only here for audio, for comms, right? Which means that I'm going to switch over to this HK. I'm going to move into the CQB. We're going to create these scenarios. We're going 2v1, 3v1 against any of these hold points from SEAL Team Panda. And ultimately that has paid off for them. And they've been able to get either a DK or an Onyx or a Jet as they push in late to try and rejoin the rest of the team. Again, very, very clever plays from Team Sicario. And I think that round 4 is going to be a really interesting one. I think we're going to see something completely left of field from SEAL Team Panda.
Absolutely. My question to you, though, Afraid, you know Jet is out there. You know, he's coming in late. You know the sniper's out there. Arden's been spending that time looking for him. Do you, A, keep Arden out there looking for Jet, or do you 4-man rush Stronghold knowing full well it is going to be a 4v3 situation inside a stronghold and just leave Jet out there looking for ghosts.
If it was any other team, I would say, what? Stay out, look for that sniper player. You need to be aware of where they are and what they are doing. But we've seen it from Chuckles already, that they, despite all being on that ground floor, the moment that someone from SEAL Team Panda pushed in, they were like, hey, you're not on my team. And they sent him back to the stash immediately. We are now about to jump back over to our players who have deployed into round 4 of set 1, OCE versus OCE. They're looking to secure that spot in the semi of this nation versus nation Sieg tournament.
Oh, heading for their spawns now. You see
same idea, I just had it backwards.
Moonshines. SEAL Team Panda, they need this win here, afraid. So, they're going to be nervous, I think.
I'm just trying to get confirmation.
Grenades on the left-hand side. Yeah, you can just jump the frame.
Doesn't look like we've had any gear changes. It looks like everybody's still rocking the same kits they have from the previous rounds.
Alright, DK, we'll still push around.
Arden's got the 2 helmets again.
Just jump, prone, crawl under, stand up, run. Your mic working, DK?
So we just started to go through the ramp.
We're gonna go through the same spot, but instead of jumping and crouching, we're just gonna jump and
Alright. Players are almost ready here. We'll be kicking off any minute now.
Cringy, can you take us through what happens if we end up in a draw situation to SEAL Team Panda secure the win in this round?
Absolutely. So the draw, if it goes to a draw and it's 2 points to each team, the deciding factor ends up being time to win. So the team that has wiped the other teams the quickest will be a winner. So the NvN staff will add up all the times from the previous rounds, and the time spent on the rounds won for each team. The team with the amount of time spent to win their 2 rounds will become the winner.
Are you going right here as well?
I'm doing the jumping
over. He's not going where you are.
Okay.
Directly in front.
Okay.
Okay, we're about 30 seconds off here.
Fine around, let's make it count, boys.
Yeah.
And come back next weekend.
Alright, so
do we do what we're talking about?
Would be good.
Yeah, we can.
15.
Yeah,
Okay.
well then, that's we are checking the.
10.
Alright, no.
Nine,
Alright, let's not fuck with it. Yeah, everyone ready to go? Everyone, yeah. Everyone ready to go?
Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
Go.
10
Yeah, just
seconds
go normal.
off.
Go normal. We might as well just win it.
Go!
No, my mistake. We are 5 seconds off. Here we go. The teams are on their way to the fortress. Let's see what happens. Arden's got his DVL out. Looks like he's going to go for that sniper play once again. Chuckles pushing around Crackhouse here. Go for the early nade. He may do here. Freddy pushing straight up the gut, so I expect nothing less from him.
Arden moving to the front. This is a play we haven't seen so far. Again, looking for
one
across
point,
the
tug.
train.
I can get it.
I'm up ramp.
Oh, I just made it first way.
Up closed. Or ramp, I don't know. I heard something run up.
Yeah, closed ramp.
So we've seen Freddy has moved into the bottom floor. Yo-Yo moving in with him. Chuckles sitting outside, just right next to the USEC stairs, listening for any audio in that we saw. SEAL Team Panda prioritizing taking that top floor. Onyx on the rotation around, still on the old gas side. Lots of movement there. No one
He's against
no
the
one
wall
seems
this
to
time.
be put floor right now.
No, but I think that's because SEAL Team Panda are already up there. They already have 2 players upstairs, afraid. Commander Panda and DK are upstairs holding the 2 stairs. And Nixie down the bottom, Jet over at the train lines. They've done a 2-2 split here, afraid.
We've seen this from them in the previous rounds as well. I don't know how this is going to work out for them. We can see Panda with the Fel on board. He is ready to throw down with that big 50 rounder. Onyx moving around the back there, trying to keep anyone else pushing into the fortress at all. But Yo-Yo and Chuckles are in there. Chuckles moving into the back of the USEC stairs. Freddy has secured not very far from Onyx right now. Arden taking those again, hunting for Jet, who is around there somewhere.
I believe Jet and Arden
Yeah,
are
you still-
incredibly
I can't get an
close
angle
to
out
each
of
other
his
here,
feet.
afraid. I'm not sure if we can get Jet's POV here.
I'm pushing.
Jet's dead.
I
Jet's
tagged
been
him.
taken out.
He's hurt.
So we're in a 3v4 situation right now in favor of Team Sicario.
I'm bottom of open.
Onyx has gone down. I've just heard. We are now in a 4v2 situation, but both Panda and DK do have the top. We can see that they are sitting over the top of both the USEC stairs and the open stairs in very strong positions. DK managing to take 2 players out from the position that he is in right now in round 1.
I'm starting to have a bit of deja vu here, afraid. The 4v2 situation with still Team Panda holding up above.
Yeah, I'm holding.
Chuckles is trying to push up these stairs here, right next to DK.
You
DK
saw
holding the angle.
the faith that DK had then, that generator was going to block him from the nade. He saw it come in, land right next to him, but he went, you know what? There's a good chance that nothing there is going to hit me. We're hearing the nades landing in the front open stairs right now as they're trying to clear people off those holding points. Again, Chuckles running the duo at the back of USEC stairs. We have seen them successfully push as a pair up there. Arden with the sniper rifle over on Newgas. DK taking out Chuckles.
Chuckles
That
has
was
fallen
so
to
clean.
DK here. I think he may have punished him on the nade pull.
Go behind that
Yo-Yo
sheet there.
time replacing. Is Yo-Yo time over the front here with Commander Panda, or has he replaced Chuckles
They're at the front.
on the back stairs?
They were running a 2-stack there, Cringy.
Yeah, Yo-Yo's replaced Chuckles on the stairs here, trying to punish DK.
But DK has exposed himself, perhaps not realizing that Arden is over on new construction right now. He does it all the way across the top of Fortress. We can see it there, inlaid, bottom right-hand side. He may have visibility over Commander Panda and DK right now, letting that arm stam come back up.
There is just that one bit of sheet metal stopping Arden from clicking DK right in the back of his head here.
Yo-Yo and Arden will definitely be communicating about the audio that they can hear. Panda, again, creeping forward. There is like a sliver of cover. If he moves too far over, no, he's crouch walking back over to those front open stairs. Now, if he crosses over to the spot that we saw him hold previous round,
Don't pick down those stairs.
he may get clicked on by Arden. Freddy at those front open stairs as well. Yo-Yo.
Nice change here to see Freddy still has his head afraid. That is a nice change of pace for this game.
It is certainly a novelty.
Oh, hearing the communication here that they know that the sniper is on Scully. They know Arden's position.
Yo-Yo starting to move up those stairs. Again, waiting for the audio. We have DK directly above him. Now, remember, if Yo-Yo makes that play up the stairs, he needs to clear multiple lanes. There are quite a few positions that Arden won't be able to see. We hear the call of train yard, which I don't think is completely correct. Arden putting shots onto Commander Panda, but not able to land them.
They're all at the front. All 3 of them are at the front, I think. No, one is on UC. Okay.
DK holding these stairs like his life depends on it.
Keep watching the guy. He's
He's not letting anyone come up these rear stairs here, afraid.
And then until once he hears you, he's gonna run up there. Okay.
That timer ticking down. I think there isn't much time left before they can rip that GL out. We may see what we saw in the previous round, which is that really late push from Team Sicario up the stairs. It isn't quite as advantageous as what we saw in round 3, where it is a 2v1 situation. There is the opportunity for DK and Commander Panda to take down anyone making that late push up the stairs.
Absolutely. Oh, Freddy's trying to play up.
Yo-Yo goes down to DK.
Freddy's gone
Freddy
as
Smalls
well.
also going down. Arden is alone. 2v1.
I'm dead. Fuck.
Going
Arden
down.
falls. It is 2-2 of
Let's go!
Damn it!
and they secure the fourth round, leading into a 2v2. Team Sicario all back in the lobby. Not seeing a repeat of that really strong late push from Sicario.
Good shit. Holy fuck.
Unbelievable cringy. We are seeing 2v2. That is a draw between the two, which means we will be going into a type of
So now it comes down to
the time taken to secure the win. And we are going to be waiting a moment for our production group to come back with a formal announcement on who clutches and wins the overall OCE regional matchup.
Unbelievable, Afraid. The 2v2 scoreline. Got to go to the tiebreaker now. It's down to the clock now, Afraid. The amount your aim and your skill and your mechanics mean nothing now. We're down to the clock. So the NvN staff are here calculating the time. And honestly, Afraid, I'm not sure. I genuinely don't know who has wiped the teams the quickest here. This could be anybody's win.
Exactly right. When we went into this, there was barely a minute between the two of them. Like barely a minute, which means that whoever managed to secure victory the quickest in the 2 rounds that they had will be going through to the semi-final next Saturday. Twitch drops will be enabled on this channel and the NvN eSports channel if you will be watching it in Korean. But we are about to go to a break in just a moment here while the production team go through, do the calculations that they need to do, figure out which of our 2 OCE teams will be going through to represent this region in the semi-final, Cringy.
I'm on the edge of my seat, Afraid. Honestly, I have no idea who has won this now.
It could be anyone's
game, right? This could be
a
big upset here. This could be a very big upset if Sicario are taken out here due to the clock. But I guess we'll find out after the break, Afraid.
And we'll see everyone back here very shortly. Hello and welcome back to Nation versus Nation Pacific League regional qualifiers. We have just seen the two teams from OCE, Team Sicario and SEAL Team Panda, duking it out for the OCE slot in the semi-finals that will be held next Saturday right here, and also on the Korean NvN eSports channel and over at Bilibili in Mandarin Chinese. Again, Cringy next week drops, Twitch drops, and you know, I'm an emissary. This is NvN. We've had a little cheeky word with BSG, and we said we want only the best drops here, only the best drops for Spicy Bush and NvN, right? So I don't know about you, but I'm hoping for maybe a gun here, maybe a bit of armor. I'm only like level 27 at the moment, but we are about to watch the matchup between Team China, Team Never Stop, and Team The Nest from the US. We will be going over to the reserve military base for Game Mode 3. Cringy, can you take us through the rules?
Absolutely. So the conditions are the exact same as the other maps. Only one sniper per team. All other guns are limited to a single optic. 1x optic, sorry. One stimulant per player. And then we also have 4 grenades per player also. There will be no 338 ammo, no KS-23s, no grenade launchers. There will be no impact grenades, and there will also be no enhanced gear if you're one of those players that can craft it. Now, we are going to be playing on reserve here, Afraid. So the spawns are going to be behind, in one of the bunkers behind RBST, and the bunker behind Black Pawn, I believe it is. The goal here is to either be the team that kills the enemy team first, or the team that gets onto the roof of the King building, loots the weapon crate, and fires the flare. Now, as with customs, with the grenade launcher not being active until after 7 minutes, it's the exact same here with the flare. So you can't rush the roof and shoot the flare. There is a time restriction before the flare becomes active. So now, do you rush the roof and try to hold the roof from the flare and leave yourself open to the snipers? Do you play inside? What would you do in this situation, Afraid?
Cringy, I don't even know. This is not a game mode before. Before, we've seen customs, we've seen labs, we know the plays, we've seen what players want to do. I don't even know where you would start from here. So again, we're over watching the leaderboard right now. We have seen Team here winning their regional round yesterday, going through, securing that first semi-final spot next weekend. Team Golden Tooth taking it over Dev due to a technical disqualification, moving through to the semi-final to represent Korea. A big TBC. I don't know about you, Cringy. I am biting my nails right now. I don't know who is going to win the tiebreaker between SEAL Team Panda and Sicario. An amazing show from both teams. But Team Never Stop will be going through semi-final representing Team China. There is a hell of a lineup next Saturday, Cringy. I am super excited, and I'm really looking forward to this Mode 3, the reserve matchup between Team Never Stop. And again, this is a show match, so we're going to see lots of PvP, pulling out all the stops, just going for the wins on a game mode that we have not seen before. Team Never Stop from China, made up of some very, very talented Chinese players, headed up by team captain Federico, who is a recent Sherpa, very, very talented Bilibili streamer, and Team The Nest, who were the runners-up yesterday. So, Cringy, can you take us through the competitors for each team?
Absolutely. So The Nest has Moose, Firebird, Crowns, and Pitbull. I believe they have made one roster change from the team yesterday. And China has Federico, CG, and I'm going to be honest here, Afraid, I might have to get you to help me with these last two. Because I don't want to butcher them.
Look, I'm going to channel my, and admittedly, the language that I spent learning was Japanese, so not really the same as Mandarin, but I'm going to say, and please, if you're in chat and you speak Mandarin, feel free to correct me here. Yumo Shangxi and Lu. I feel like I did a good job there. I know that the Yomo Shangxi. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I got very, very close there, Cringy. I've been definitely working on my pronunciations here, but look, given that this is Cringy, it's the Pacific League, so we are talking about competitors from Korea, competitors from China, from the US, and from the Oceanic region. Like, this is the most global head-to-head event that I think I've ever seen in Tarkov esports. Like, that is just an amazing and I believe we're about to just cut over to the reserve scene here. Now, again, we will have spawn point A. That will be the bunker in there behind RBST. So you're in behind the night building right there. Our teams will be leaving from there. We will also have a spawn point B, which is the bunker over behind the barracks, behind school. We're talking Black Pawn, we're talking Black Bishop. In that field behind there, they will both be trying to get to our objective point, rushing right over to that middle point around the medical building. What do we call that? White Bishop, if they can, they're cringy. Have I got that right?
I believe that is correct.
That's excellent. And up the very top of that building, there will be an MBSS backpack. An MBSS backpack that will be dropped on top of the stairwell. And within that MBSS backpack, there will be a flare. I don't know what color flare it will be. I'm sure it's a very particular one. I think it might be a yellow, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
The condition, cringy, is after 7 minutes, right? You cannot just rush up there. It is not a foot race. You can't just go charging up there, grab that MBSS and shoot that flare off for the win. That's not how it works. You need to get in there. You need to either take out the opposing team or you need to secure the objective, wait for that timer to hit, grab that flare out of that backpack, shoot it off into the air. And it doesn't matter if you have 1 player up or 4 players up. If you get that flare off, you will secure the win for your team. So again, this is a show match between Team Never Stop of China, who will be coming back for our semifinals next week, against the runner-up US team of Team The Nest. Cringy, mate, I've never played this before. Let's say, you know, you're starting off, you are spawning behind Black Pawn. How do you play this? Is it an early rush in or is it a timed play?
Well, you see, my question that I'm having here mainly is, do you separate your sniper from the rest of the team? Because as we're seeing here in the footage, that MBSS is on top of the King building, which is, as people know, is right below the dome. Do you put a sniper up on Dome Rocks, Frade? Do you watch that backpack with the DVL or the M700 or whatever you're choosing to run? And, you know, just watch the backpack. Watch the windows below the backpack. Try early pick. Like, or do you just rush the building and then try to snipe from outside the window?
That's a really good point, Cringy, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of windows. You have the hill moving up to Dome. You can drop a sniper up there and really cover that MBSS. You can stop the play. If you have 1 player left and that player is your sniper player, remember, by this rule set, 3 players can run 2 guns if they want to, but both of those guns need to be running a 1x optic. They cannot be running anything range. That eliminates your 2.5x optic on the Monstrum. It removes everything except for your EKPs, your XPSs, any of those 1x reflexes. All it takes is for 1 player to deny the opposing team from taking that MBSS, grabbing that flare and shooting it off for the win. And that person could be up on the dome. They could be sitting over in the basketball court. They could be sitting over in White Pawn. If you're on that top floor of White Pawn and you're sitting in that window, and we've seen it, the sheet panels that come down that cover most of that window, you can sit there and you can look through and you can look for that MBSS backpack and you can take the win. I'm really excited to see what our teams come up with today, because this is not a game mode that we have ever seen before, and I don't think it even came out in the scrims. So, Cringy, you are a sniper player. Are you saying that you would go up onto the mountain, or do you think you would secure one of the buildings and hold that window?
Honestly, I think I'd try to get up high and watch the backpack, watch the windows, watch for even rotations out around the building that, you know, RBST spawn trying to flank around the back to try to get that barrack spawn. Yeah, like, you've really got to utilize your sniper player, I believe. And the thing is also, unless the other sniper player spots you, there's not much the other team can do.
Well, and that's exactly right.
They don't have that range optic. If you're up the top in the rocks, you're camouflaged up there, sitting behind a bush, in a bush, any of that sort of stuff, you're going to be incredibly hard to spot. And you don't want to be spending a lot of time poking your noggin outside the window trying to spot that sniper player, because he's probably going to shoot you in it.
Well, and that's the point, right? Is these players, I know, at least when it comes to the OCE lineup, they have been looking around. They've been playing reserve. They know that no one else is coming in here prepared for any kind of tactic or style for game mode 3 here at reserve, which means that they will be taking the opportunity to sit up on top where the MBSS is going to be located. They'll be looking around. What windows? What are we clearing? All right, what are the hold points? Remember, maybe not this wipe, but previous wipes, right? We had Shooterborn. We had Shooterborn on reserve, and RBAK, or drop down room, as people tend to call it. That was one of the locations that people would look to snipe into from up on the dome to get those Shooterborn kills. So everyone here is very, very familiar of all of the sniper points up on the dome, which means that if they are going in there and they are at the top of that building, they'll be looking up. They will be looking up to dome, and they will be checking each of those spots to make sure that they're not going to be caught out. Right, Cringy, that is... I'm just so excited to see what all of our teams are going to wear their hats in terms of strategies here today. Like, it's just... These are all militant players. I would love to see some CQB, though.
I'd love to have some sort of insight, but nobody has seen this before, Afraid. This is a brand new map for NvN. It wasn't in the cycle last season. It hasn't been played during scrims, if at all. So I really don't know what people's strategies are going to be for this, because the people that have been practicing it, it hasn't been shown. They haven't practiced it in scrims against other teams. They haven't streamed it. None of that. They've been practicing. They've come up with strategies, but no one knows what they are. So I'm lost, Afraid. I genuinely don't know what we'll be seeing today, but I'm sure it's going to be great from these two teams.
Definitely will be. And look, we will have a bit of an interesting cast for this round, because all of our members of Team The Nest represent US will be up. We will be able to follow them along. However, it is Founder Day in China today. It is a public holiday for them, and that does come along with a few rules that they need to follow, which means that unfortunately we will only have 2 of the 4 streams from Team Never Stop representing China today. So again, we thank our Chinese team, Federico and CG in particular, will be here showing their perspective of this match. And again, very much appreciate them being here for the show match between them and Team The Nest. They have already secured a spot in the semi-final next weekend. So this is just an opportunity for them to come in here, throw down, flex, show their skills. And it's also a chance of redemption, right, for Team The Nest. We saw them go down 4-0 against Team Expensive Healthcare yesterday as the US team that will be moving forward. So again, big thank you to Team The Nest. We will have all of their Twitch streams up in the top left. You'll see the player cards for each of them. Jump in there, drop them a follow, show them your support. Follows are absolutely free. I know that they would definitely appreciate it, and we certainly appreciate them being here today and putting on a show for us. Cringy.
Absolutely, yeah. Make sure you go and give them a follow. They all deserve it. Especially, they had a rough loss yesterday. They could have very easily not shown up today and just, went about their regular days, but they still showed up today, and looking forward to putting a show on for this new map that we haven't seen yet.
That's right, and the thing to remember here is, yes, okay, these are not the big name streamers that we've seen in the past, that you might see in other tournaments and things like that, because this is an event that is in preparation for the new rule sets that will be coming as part of Arena. So the team at NvN have put a lot of time into preparing all the new rule sets, making this particular league style. That means that, you will need to qualify, you will need to duke it out with your countrymen for the opportunity to represent your region. And it isn't your typical RNG, it isn't your PvP, let's take out players to secure the victory. It really comes down to the absolute strategy. And Cringy, I am hearing that we have just had an update on the OCE time to win, the tiebreaker. Mate, do you want to take us through it? My hand is shaking right now. I don't even know if I can get through this, please.
So, round 1, we had a win with SEAL Team Panda that was 388 seconds. Round 2 was a win to Sicario at 428 seconds. Round 3 with a win to Sicario at 382 seconds. Round 4 with a win to SEAL Team Panda at 423 seconds, bringing Sicario's time to 13 minutes and 40 seconds for their 2 wins, and bringing SEAL Team Pandas to get the win at 13 minutes and 31 seconds. SEAL Team Panda will advance to the next round by 9 seconds, afraid.
9 seconds. Cringy. 9 seconds. 9 seconds. As we cut back over to our ladder, we see the final spot representing Team OCE. Congratulations, SEAL Team Panda. Nothing in it. 9 seconds, Cringy. That just blows my mind. So, okay, our lineup for the US. Team Expensive Healthcare going in for the US. We will see Team Golden Tooth for Korea. We will see SEAL Team Panda representing OCE. And Team China will be represented by Team Never Stop. I cannot believe that there was such an amazing show between our 2 OCE teams. The fact that there was 9 seconds over 45 minutes of competition. Yeah. There was 9 seconds in it. A huge congratulations to both of our teams as we come over to our players now.
Incredibly proud.
Real what?
27, 20.
All right, here we go. Reserve is up and running.
We see Team The Nest moving over to, I believe, the spawn behind Black Pawn. We have Team Never Stop in the top left and middle top quadrants moving over to the spawn in behind the night building. Cringy, I've also just had a bit of insight from our teams here. So I've been told that you can actually see the bag from the K buildings. The K buildings. That is a completely new angle I had not even thought about.
One thing I am seeing here, afraid, is while he may not be here talking to us today, a close dear friend of ours, Mr. Trent AU, it seems like Moose from Team The Nest may be trying to summon his inner Trent AU, because I'm seeing an Iron Sight Mosin, afraid.
There's a Mosin, there is a mutant there. Now, look, I don't, look, I have learnt not to ever cast any dispersions on the Mosin, because I have seen, and not just Trent, mate, I've seen you going in there into a tournament scenario armed only with a pipe with a bit of wood strapped to it, and then taking the dub anyway. Cringe, what do you have to say to that action, that you can be a winner with Yeon?
Look, you know, anybody can win with any gun, afraid. That's the glory of Tarkov. You never know who's going to win, because in the end of the day, it could be anything. It looks like, though, the Mosin may just be a placeholder. It looks like someone may have brought him in a gun and dropped it for him. So I don't think we'll actually be seeing much Mosin action today, unfortunately, afraid. I would have loved to see some of that old school broomstick slaughter, but I don't think we'll see much of it.
A boy can dream. I would love to see some Mosin clapping. There is nothing that has that ring, that sound that the Mosin does, where you're like, ooh, I want to push that, but I've also been on the receiving end of those big 54R rounds before.
Correct, yes. All right,
we'll take a moment.
Getting ready, drinking their beverages of choice, getting them buffs that we spoke about earlier, and we are only a few seconds away here from gameplay.
Cringy, I don't know about you, but I am scared. I see Federico, I see CG. They both have tracksuits. Third player there, also with a tracksuit. Mate, these Team China, Team Never Stop, they are absolute gamers as they go charging out of their spawn.
There is not many people in the world of Tarkov that scare me as much as Federico does. For those of you that don't know Federico, he's a Sherpa, he's a Billy streamer. He is insane.
See how well this works out.
I wake up in cold sweats some nights just at the thought of into a team led by Federico. But that being said, you know, Team The Nest established that they were very capable players. It was unfortunate that they went to the labs and they faced off against players like Jip and Nick and of course Maquito and Gunador, who are very much labs PvP players. But this reserve mode is something brand new, something we haven't seen before. Immediately we see CG is up on top of the dome looking across. We did also see the team, the Nest sniper, moving up onto the hill as well. Will he run into CG? I don't know, Cringe. They could run into each other.
Straight out from the stairs.
Oh, no. No, they're not going to run into each other here, afraid. It looks like the Nest sniper has actually taken up a spot in... I believe that might be White Pawn. If I'm not very good at, you know, the chess names, but I believe that is the White Pawn building just below the Never Stop Sniper.
Wowza. And we can see Crowns looking across at the MBSS. Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide, down in D2. Firebird holding that approach from the tech building. This is something I never considered, Cringy, is the fact that you can use the D2 bunker to rotate around the reserve map. You can actually pop up underneath any of those buildings and take people by surprise. However, Federico in behind the basketball court right now, he is absolutely prepared for any kind of counter. We don't have eyes on where the rest of Team Never Stop are, but CG up there with that foul on board, that DVL, he is looking across the top of any of the buildings. He is looking for the sniper of Team The Nest, not knowing that they are all sitting in that bunker area, ready to rotate, to pop up from anywhere.
Absolutely, and those windows down below are looking very, very dark. Yeah, I think you're going to feel pretty secure in there. Doesn't look like CG has a very good view in there at all. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we get a rotation out of CG soon to play the closer game once he realizes that those windows aren't very, very lit up. So kind of shooting at shadows in there, which isn't ideal.
You see Moose putting shots out of the window. Like, one thing that I never considered, Cringy, is that he's here to stop a four-man charge up to grab that MBSS, right? At the end of the day, if you only have one sniper with a bolt action putting those shots on, is that enough time for you to grab the MBSS and get out? We see Federico putting the pressure on. White Pawn, Crowns out towards the Hermetic bunker button.
I don't know if he's
taking heavy damage to his thorax, but he has time to pull out that med kit and get the heal off. But his armor will have taken heavy damage there. Our players will be running high caliber, high pen ammunition. We can see that. What is that? 52 out of 70 on that defender.
He has absolutely copped some damage there from the SA-58, I believe. So M61s or M62s would be my best bet of what's just happened there. And we all know that M61 does not play, does not hold back. He is in a rough spot here.
That's very true. M61 and even 993, they go, what, class 6? Mate, that's optional. I don't even care. I do what I want.
You might as well be wearing a Paco if I'm shooting this.
Federico moving around that hermetic door. Pitbull holding the angle there. We see Firebird looking out across the window through to the helicopter. Now, remember, our players cannot play this too slowly. There will be a timer, meaning that they need to get to that MBSS. They need to grab the flare. They need to shoot it off to secure the victory. And if they let the timer run, you only have a couple of minutes from the point that that flare goes live to the round end. And if you do not make a play, not secure it, it goes to a draw. Crowns, again, still looking across at the MBSS. I believe, what building is that, Cringy? Is that Black Pawn looking up through the hole
I
there?
believe it is Black Pawn, yep. He's still in the building just below Dome here.
He's heard
CG
something.
is actually still sitting up on the side of the hill of Dome, but he's more distracted at looking at the MBSS. If he rotates around and looks out at Dome, he may be able to get the pick on CG here.
Good point, good point. Federico, we can see inlaid, bottom left. He was moving around from the white pawn, the D2 or dome stairs, moving down towards White Queen. Sorry, is it White Queen? That one there? The approach from the medical building? Not the medical building, the technical building. So the reality
Queen's
is
the dome and King's the tech building below Dome.
Thank you very much. I am absolutely not a reserve main. I could not do it without you, sir. Much like most of my previous cappers, but we won't go there.
That's a story for another day, afraid. Another day.
It certainly is. So we can see Federico looking around. He is doing the creep walk there. He knows that there is a tactical advantage in having the rotation through D2, fixing that that gold chain, the killer tracksuit armband. Like right there, he's definitely a gamer as he walks around. However, the only person he will be sneaking up behind now will be Pitbull. Remember, Pitbull is up those stairs, meaning he will hear Federico. He will see Federico pushing up those stairs. Cringy, do you think they realize that they're not even 20 meters away from each other right now?
No, they would have no clue at the moment. And the issue is going to be here is if Federico comes up looking towards that middle grate, Pitbull is going to have him lined up immediately because he's going to have line of sight first. So Federico may be walking himself into his death here because it's going to be I don't think he's going to think to swing around back behind him. Oh, hang on. Pitbull is moving. They're actually going to avoid each other here, afraid.
Oh, there is nothing in this. These two players right next to one another. Federico, I mean, I have not seen Pitbull play, but I know that Federico has amazing reflexes. Pitbull probably needed that advantage. See Federico walk up those stairs in front of him, but they are watching the timer, hearing the nades going off in between to the Knight building and the Bishop building there.
Oh, Firebird is dead.
Going down to one of the Team Never Stop players. Pitbull moving around. Federico would have absolutely heard that audio, but doesn't matter. Pitbull is moving into a position now where he knows that he can he can hold that MBSS. He knows that he can stop any player from pushing that. That was Lu taking out Firebird, turning this into a 4v3 situation, Cringy.
Federico and Pitbull are still within a couple of meters of each other here, both taking it very slow and tactical, trying to make the other person have audio first. We see Crowns here still watching that MBSS. I'm not sure how long into raid we are now, afraid, but I don't think we're going to be long. Oh, we see some green smoke. One of the teams is using smoke grenades to their advantage and smoking off the MBSS. I believe it might be Team The Nest here, afraid, using them smokes.
Moose going down, however, going for the push. Again, very clever play using those smokes because immediately you are taking those two sniper. We can see Federico, CG on the grenade launcher. What is this play? Federico!
CG has just taken out Federico. We have just seen a team kill from Team Never Stop here, with CG taking out Federico on the GL.
We have seen Team Never Stop firing off the flare, taking the win in round 1 of set 2 of our show match here in the Nation versus Nation Pacific League.
Okay,
Holy shit.
That makes more sense. We didn't see a Team TK here. Well, we did, but technically the round was over, so it was just for meme's sake.
He sat there and looted the bag.
I would have been very shocked if that was an actual TK from Team China here. That would be very, very against them. Not something they would be looking to do, but I have missed the flare go off, so I apologize to our viewers out there. Team China take the win by shooting off the flare, and then they decided to blow up Federico.
No.
That is an element, Cringy, that I had not even considered, and I definitely got a little bit excited there at the end, seeing that that mounted GL come into play. It was not something that I ever considered, but the reality is, you know, I talked earlier about being able to do that. You know, if you keep all 4 of your players up and you do that timed push up to grab that MBSS, you drop a smoke in there so that they can't see it. You run up with 4 players, you grab the bag, you run back down, you do the search, you shoot that flare off. But if they have a player up on that mounted grenade launcher, that will counter all 4 players.
Absolutely.
Can you give us a debrief of what we just saw there? I feel like there was so much going on there. I didn't have time to pick apart at all.
I was amazed by the use of the green smokes to cover the backpack. So I'm like, that's a really smart play here. And it was so effective that we didn't even realize they shot the flare.
Exactly.
Like,
it was just such
I
a
was
perfectly
baffled.
timed. They did the sleight of hand, right? Where we were looking somewhere. We were looking for the counter. We saw Team the Nest moving into position, getting ready to counter that MBSS. The green smoke went off. We thought that was Team the Nest getting ready to do the push up the top. We saw that Team Never Stop from China jumping onto the MG. We saw Federico pushing up. It was just, there was so much carnage right at the end. And it goes to show that the fact that these are time box tournaments, you need to make the play at the right time, because if you wait a second too long or you go a second too early, your game is over. Your game is over. And again,
100%.
I'm just really excited to see all the different types of angles we saw onto the top of the roof there, watching that MBSS, watching the flare location, and seeing so many of our teams really prioritizing owning D2. Do you think we're going to see a 4v4, an all-out brawl in the bunker?
Look, I wouldn't be surprised if we do get an all-out brawl down below. But at the same time, CG held that angle from up at Dome on the side of the mountain, and he wasn't contested the whole game, pretty much, afraid. I think they put some rough shots in his general direction at one point, but he had oversight the entire time. He was checking all the buildings, he was watching the bag, and he was in that position to jump on the GL. Yes, it was only used for meme sakes that round, but if that had been the Nest up on the roof trying to get the bag, that could be a squad wipe from that GL.
Oh, it definitely could.
I think we'll see
position.
CG getting up on the side of the hill with that bolt action again. And I think the Nest, they need to focus on trying to clear him off the side of that hill, because that is a massive, massive advantage.
Well, that's exactly it. You know, Dome is a strong position. We immediately, like at the start, we were like, you know what? That is a good position to be in. If you have your sniper player up there, you basically own that MBSS. You own the flare. You own the objective, right? But the reality is, you could move over to the MG, right? There's nothing stopping you from doing that. We saw a really effective use of the green smoke, and the way that covered, I don't know if you saw that, but it also eliminated the other angles, that view from the top of the night buildings, that view from the K sheds as well, right? I was thinking that we would see a left of field play where one of our teams would jump into the K sheds and look across, but that nade, that smoke grenade, immediately cut out any other angle. I definitely think 100%. We're going to see some more duking it out, and I think it will be more than just our sniper players. I think we're going to see a 2v2 split where a sniper and a CQB player both try and secure that grenade launcher, that sniper vantage point, and then they know that if they duke it out from there, that it's going to be whoever holds the top and has that view of the MBSS ultimately owns the round. That being said, Cringy, we saw some fights around the medical building and the tech building, right? We saw some people rotating out of night in the open area. Is that what you expected? I really thought we would see a lot more fighting around the porn buildings and school.
Yeah.
Like, that was just really out of the blue.
I think the shooting out there near the med buildings and the tech buildings, I think it was just people getting caught out in a rotate. I don't think it was like a planned strategy. I think it was kind of just he got caught at the wrong time in the wrong place and got incredibly punished for it. So I'm hoping to see a bit more fighting in the King building here underneath the backpack. Team the Nest kind of just holding the angles and sitting back a bit. There was only, I think, one player, which was Pitbull, inside of the building. So I'm hoping to see maybe a bit more action inside King, which is the tech building below Dome there. And let them mutants and SA-58s absolutely fly, afraid.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, right? Because at the end of the day, we've seen two very strong points. If you are holding that top floor, if you're holding the building with the backpack on top, you have an immediate advantage because you know that you can drop a smoke onto that backpack, run up there and grab it at your own leisure, grab the flare, shoot it off, you take the win. However, the key counter to that is always going to be that grenade launcher. So I think we're going to see a 2v2 split. We will see 2 people duking it out for that grenade launcher, and we will see 2 people duking it out for basically the hold over that building. I think anything else will be a rotation. Again, the use of the bunker, though, I feel like there is an analogy that we've not seen where our players are moving around. They're rotating. We saw Federico do the walk all the way over from White Pawn, coming up at Queen, and popping up and basically getting up into the building, running up onto the roof, helping to grab that MBSS, grab that flare, ultimately being memed on by his own teammate CG up on the grenade launcher, which was, you know, always good for a giggle. I will say, I thought that was a TK. I thought that was a genuine TK.
I 1000% thought it was a TK on Federico, which would have been terrible news for Team China there.
Absolutely.
But,
as we jump back over to our players right now, Cringy, as they will be deploying for round 2 of set 2, the final set, a show match for the regional rounds of this Nation versus Nation Pacific League tournament.
Looking forward to seeing if there's any change of plays here. But I think CG is going to go straight for that hill again because it worked out perfectly for him.
That's it. They will swap spawns in this one. We can see Team The Nest moving out behind the night buildings to the bunker there. See Federico, CG, Team Never Stop moving over behind the school into that bunker out there. My least favorite spawn in online reserve, by the way, because every time I run out of there, you can almost guarantee that there will be a spawn in the bunker to the left and over at the guard shack on my right, and I will be on the receiving end of some very spicy lead.
Absolutely. It is one of the most dangerous spawns in the entire game, in my opinion. There can be, I believe there is 2 spawns to your right and 1 spawn to your left. As well as people that spawn up at Dome, if they get there quick enough, they can look over the top and see you running from the barracks also. So it's incredibly risky, but with the previous shooter-born in Heaven's Afraid with the 100-meter head taps, it was one of the only chances that sometimes you would get for a shooter-born on reserve, because most of the players nowadays are playing down in the bunkers.
That's a good point. We don't see that so much anymore. But I do want to take a moment to call out. We're seeing Crowns, inset, middle, bottom right now, running a slightly different kit to what we've seen with any other players. You can see there, he's running the Defender, the Class 5, opting to not go for the Class 6 today like we've seen from other players. He is running a single gun, that M4, with 1 spare 60-rounder and a 30-rounder. Trimadol is his stimulant of choice. 2 morphines also bound the vest there. Again, very, very interesting loadout from Crowns. Our players are currently going through their pre-game rituals, popping off the super waters for the additional benefit that it gets. We see the max energy, the pineapple juice, the milk. The rat cola is a particular favorite for me. I never actually considered the benefits that you get from the rat cola, but I think we've seen almost all of our teams running those right now. So again, very, very interesting pre-game from them. We can see CG up the top. He already has the DVL out. He will obviously be moving in to prioritize a sniper position. Of course, as I say that, out comes the foul. Our players are off. You see them charging out from the spawn. CG heading immediately back onto the grenade launcher. What is this play?
CG straight onto the GL, going for the early pick here. If this works, this could be insane.
Cringy, in scrims, we saw some wild early openers from Team Never Stop, where they straight up went and took out the early pick as people rotated in. We saw Federico taking out one of the team expensive healthcare players in the scrim as they ran into the center on our customs mode 1 game mode. But it looks like CG holding off right now.
This looks like this may be a... Look, he's timed this. He's letting it rip. Are we going to see someone die here?
We can hear the audio coming through of that GL, cutting absolutely sick. All of our players are currently indoors. I think they may get through unscathed. Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide, currently outside the tech building, not taking any hits from CG on that grenade launcher.
Wow. Imagine if that works, Afraid. I'm guessing... Oh, Crowns is down.
I didn't even see what happened there. Did you catch that?
I'm not sure. He's He's just come around the corner and he has been folded. I'm not sure who has taken him out here, but
Who
Team
dropped him?
the Nest is down a player already.
Like the T hallway.
YXMC taking that early frag. Thorax hits.
Wow.
They must have been very close to one another for him to land those shots. Pushing us into a 3v4 situation, Cringy. We can see Federico moving around underneath. He's in the basketball court right now. He's hurt. He opened that door, immediately pushed back. I don't know if we can see any of our players right now being able to hear that. Perhaps Moose in the top left quadrant. We can see throwing the nade out, making that audio. Not on the same floor right now, but not very far away from one another.
Very, very close quarters here again. Not realizing. Hearing that CG is going to go for that dome play again, but afraid. One of the Chinese players here has the new Lightkeeper top. He is rocking Knight's shirt. He's done all the Lightkeeper tasks. He's killed all the bosses 15 times, and he has the new drip.
Oh, yeah. Cringy, you know what they say? No matter how accomplished you feel in this game, there will be someone out there who has managed to take your accomplishments and shadow that like significantly. And we've seen that from so many of our competitors. And now looking at Team Never Stop representing China, we're seeing tracksuits, we're seeing the Lightkeeper get up. Mate, these guys are next level.
These are some
Federico taking shots
games.
in our bottom left. Who's gone down? What have we just seen here?
Stairs behind you, Moose. I didn't hear him grab.
Pitbull going down. Bottom right, Federico securing the kill there, putting this into a 4v2 scenario. CG inlaid, bottom right, still holding that top position up near the dome. He has the DV, not really prioritizing looking for the MBSS. He is trying to find the sniper player of Team The Nest as we hear grenades landing around Moose right now, dicing it out with one of Team Never Stop.
The point fire from Federico there with that SA-58 is unbelievable. Man has better aim point fire than I do ADS, and I feel sad about it, afraid.
Oh, I completely understand it, but that is hundreds and hundreds of hours of practicing with that particular gun, with that loadout. CG, we just saw him priming the grenade launcher. We may see that mounted gun coming in again. Shots from Federico, bottom left. That might have been Firebird, if I'm not mistaken. We may catch that up the top. It is Firebird going down to Federico.
Down to Federico. Federico still going.
Federico taking down Moose, I think, top right. We're about to see the outcome of this fight. Going down.
I believe that's GG's.
Round
Federico
over.
has this picked up a 3-man kill to win the round.
And CG, no, not opting not to fire off the MG this time in victory. The victory cry of the chunk, chunk, chunk of that mounted grenade launcher. Cringy, I know earlier, Federico is a man possessed when he wants to be, and that is exactly what we just saw in round 2 of the show match between Team Never Stop of China and Team The Nest of the US. Mate, that was something completely different to round 1. I don't even know how to unpack that. That was just brilliant to watch.
Well, look, we said we wanted more action inside the King building below the backpack, and I don't know if Federico was listening, but boy, did he bring the action. He has rocked up with that SA-58, with the drum mags, and he has just put rounds down range, left and right. Picking up the 3 kills that round, afraid.
Three kills, yeah. You know what he did? He walked into that building and he went, this is my home. And I'm going to castle law this. This is where I live. If you come in here, I have a FAL. I have a 50 rounder. It is loaded up with M61, and you're going to have to take this from my cold, dead grasp. And you know what? No one in Team The Nest was able to make it happen this time.
He's hard to beat, Federico, and this, like, watching that is it's no diss to the American team, but Federico is he's just built different, afraid. Honestly,
he's on another level.
Just built different.
We are about to cut over to a break at the halfway mark of set 2, the show match between Team Never Stop of China and Team The Nest of US. Hang around, we will be back very shortly. Hello and welcome back to the second half of Set 2, the show match between Team Never Stop of China and Team The Nest from the US. Today's match takes us over to the reserve military base where both of our teams will be duking it out, trying to secure an MBSS backpack on the top of the medical building, hoping to grab the green flare contained within and shoot that off for the round victory. We have just seen the first 2 rounds going to our team from China, Team Never Stop, securing the victory in the first 2. As we move into the second half, some pretty wild plays, some very unique strats, not a game mode that we've seen before. Cringy, can you give us a quick debrief on what we saw in round 1 and round 2?
Absolutely. So round 2 boils down to Federico is insane and is a human aimbot. Round 1 was interesting. We've seen a more slower gameplay. People took their time, they held angles, they pushed from building to building using the tunnel system of reserve, which I didn't really think about, Afraid. Which, they know that there's going to be a sniper up on that hill. So if you use the tunnel system, you're not going to get those shots picked at you. So smart plays there. And but Team Never Stop, 2 wins out of 2 rounds. Just if you're another team coming into next week and you're not worried about Team Never Stop, you're the most confident people I've ever seen in my life, because I'm not even playing and I'm scared of going up against that team.
It's true, and we will see, of course, Team China will be going up against SEAL Team Panda in our semi-final, the team from OCE getting the win over Team Sicario. Again, Cringy, there was nothing in that. They both took 2 points each. They both won 2 rounds. It came to the tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker was based on who managed to secure victory the quickest. And over 45 minutes of competition, Cringy, 9 seconds difference between the 2 teams. Unbelievable. Just ridiculous to see. Like, that was wild.
It just comes down to like tiny little things that people will be second guessing now. If they just pushed up those stairs a little bit sooner, they may have won earlier. If Team Panda didn't, well, it doesn't matter for them because they've already won, but like if they had not held their angles for so long and push a little bit more aggressive, they would have spread that time out. If Freddy and Chuckles didn't go down almost immediately in round 1, it would have taken them longer to win that round, which then could have put them forward. But 9 seconds is not the time, Afraid. It really isn't. That's the run from the spawn to the stronghold.
Exactly right. I mean, 9 seconds, you blink and you miss it kind of territory at that stage.
Absolutely.
So just a huge effort from both of the OCE teams to bring it down to such an absolute nail biter. And look, I have to say, it's kind of what I expected from the region. A lot of really competitive players, and both teams were practicing a lot every day in the week or 2 leading up to Versus Nation Pacific League tournament. Like it was anyone's game, and whilst they both came out of their corners fighting, the fact that it came down to just that split decision between the 2 of them was fantastic to watch. Again, of course, that means we have rounded out our 4 qualifying teams. We will have Team Expensive Healthcare from the US. We will have Team Golden Tooth representing Korea. We will have SEAL Team Panda representing the Oceanic region, and have Team Never Stop representing China. We will be back from 1 p.m. Sydney time. So that's daylight savings for anyone who doesn't follow it as closely as I probably should. We will be back next Saturday on this channel, on the NvN eSports channel. If you are following along in Korean, we will be live also on Bilibili, being cast in Mandarin Chinese. And Cringy, we will have drops here on this channel next week, both Saturday and Sunday. Drops right here. Hit that follow button. We're about to cut over to our players now as they get ready for round 3 of set 2, the show match between Team China, Team Never Stop, and Team The Nest of the US.
Absolutely. So we're a minute or so away from gameplay here. The players are heading towards their spawns. Gonna start drinking their moonshines, which No matter how many times I see it, Afraid, still this seems strange to me to watch a player standing in a bunker just absolutely chugging down a moonshine. But you know, and every second matters, as we've seen in the OCE games today. It can come down to literally seconds, Afraid. If the teams hadn't been drinking their moonshines for extra strength or extra endurance or anything like that, we could have had a different winner in the earlier games today. So, gotta drink them beverages, and yeah,
Exactly
get
right.
Get it done.
I'm impressed that, like, actually before NvN, I had no idea that there was even an animation for drinking the moonshine, for drinking the super water. But it turns out, no, BSG, they've done it. They've mapped it out. They have created animations for those.
I don't think I've ever drank a moonshine. I don't think I've ever done it. Even last season when I was playing in the NvN, I don't believe I was drinking moonshine. So...
I've drunk a vodka in game because it's only a negative to attention, but yeah, no, a moonshine feels expensive. But we can see there Firebird bottom left chugging one down. Also, I don't know if you saw this, Cringy, but we just saw Federico doing a bit of a team photo before they got into the bunker, going into round 3 of our reserve matchup.
I love it. Oh, Pitbull is incredibly geared for this one. He's got the Thor and the Alton on.
Oh, he is not mucking around. He is here to throw down and to put on a show, as are all of our players here today.
Nobody is here to do things by halves, that is for sure.
Exactly right, exactly right.
Alright, we're just a few moments here away from cracking into it. They're popping their final stims, finishing off their moonshines, and they will be heading towards the center of the map, looking to hold down that building with the flare on top, or to get the angles to take out the players. Will we see an attempt at the early GL again, Afraid?
Oh, I am hoping so. I want to see a GL kill at the end that isn't a meme TK. The team Never Stop immediately charging out across the night building. CG prioritizing the move up to the dome, which is what we saw previously. Federico cutting across over to the night building, running past. He is definitely head of that hermetic bunker button. As we cut over to Team The Nest, they have prioritized moving into the school. Black Pawn, all 4 players. Moose, however, cutting across past the helicopter. He is headed towards the tech building. Crowns only a few steps behind.
Moose and Crowns opting to go above ground through the helicopter area into the night building, into the King building. Sorry, my mistake. Okay. Where Firebird and Pitbull have gone underground here, Afraid. So they've gone for the 2-2 split. Okay. But is that going to work in their favor, or are they going to get punished for not sticking together as a team?
That's a really good point. But we see Pitbull Alton on. He is down with the CQB. He is running the M4 big 60 rounder on board. He wants to. He's saying, I dare you, Team Never Stop. You come down here because I am ready. I have class 5, class 6 all over me. If you do not immediately take me out, I will be taking you down.
Okay. You think they're above them?
Yeah, he's on 3rd. He like rounded the corner and I started reloading.
Team The Nest have their angles set from the looks of it. They are ready to defend.
Go all the way. No, right.
CG still up on top of the mountain, I believe, looking for that sniper shot.
Left, right?
Federico, he's there with them. He's in that King building, just in the basketball court. He can smell it. He wants that action, Afraid. He is all about it.
That's it. And you know, he may not know that the US Team The Nest have come down there with all that armor on, ready to fight. But, you know, Federico, he's running that fell. He's running 308. He has M61, M993. Those bullets, they say, like, a Reese, an Alton, mate, I don't care. I do what I want. You're going back to the lobby.
Absolutely. All the armor in the world. Oh, Federico has just taken one out. I'm not sure who that was, but Federico is already killing people. Crowns is down.
Crowns is down.
Oh, sorry, I thought it went into the
Firebird, just a Pitbull, my mistake, just a level down from Federico, but Federico is waiting for him. Firebird is in a different building altogether with his DVL, trying to look for the pick, but not looking good.
I got shot from the right. Your stream is not working for me.
I believe Federico taking out Crowns, YMXE taking down Moose. This is now a 4v2 situation, Cringy. I don't know about you, but like this cannot feel good as a member of Team The Nest.
Are you on third?
No, me personally, I'd be panicking. The hands would be sweaty, shaking. You know, a little bit of mum's
knees weak,
even.
arms are heavy.
Yes, you know it.
I'm glad we both went to the same place there. Federico about to run into Pipple here, taking him down easily. He did not care about that Alton. He just took the win. Those M61, the big 308 rounds.
Firebird's in trouble here. He's being lit up from somewhere.
Oh, he's on my building.
1v4 goes down. Team Never Stop. Team China making it 3-0. Making it look easy. CG back on the mounted grenade launcher, shooting over towards the joint extract. That cry, the war cry of victory from CG on that mounted gun. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Just goes to show how quickly the things that it can churn, they're afraid. Everybody was alive within 60 seconds. Team The Nest was gone. Completely gone. That's all it took. They were holding their angles. They all felt safe and secure. 60 seconds later, they're getting ready to go into the final 4th round, afraid. Like, they're just done. So...
Exactly. It takes, like, again, we saw this before. Blink and you will miss it, right? The time to kill on these setups, our players are all running really good ammo. We did see, so in round 3, we saw Freddy running in with the Alton, and there were 2 raids in a row, if I'm not mistaken, where that Alton, it blacked his head out, but he was still in the match. And in that first round, that meant that he ended up clasping victory from the jaws of defeat. But we've seen Federico, we have seen Team Never Stop of China. They're not mucking around with 5.56. They don't care about your low recoil, fast rounds. They're not onto your tiny, like, basically infantry grade NATO rounds. They're going straight for the big boys, the 308, the ones that look at your armor and go, I don't care, I'm coming through. And that's exactly what we saw from Federico there. So, Cringy, do you think we're going to see any more Reeses or Altons going into round 4?
Yeah, look, I don't think they'll bother to change up their gear too much going into the final round. I think Pitbull will still rock the Thor and the Alton there. But Team Never Stop, just going to show why, you know, most people would consider them their favorite team to win. It's just that team is just built different, afraid. Just absolutely, it's the only way to explain it. That is built different. I'm glad I'm not versing them. I am much more comfortable watching them play than I am playing against them. That's for sure.
It's true. I feel like, though, every single time I watch one of these teams play and take the victory, and I've seen it for Team Expensive Healthcare, I've seen it for SEAL Team Panda, I've seen it for now Team Never Stop. I look at them, I'm like, these guys, they're on another level. I reckon they've got what it takes to actually win the overall event. And I keep saying that, and then I watch the next team, and I'm like, they've got what it takes to win as well. Which means, you know what I'm feeling there, Cringy, is that next week is going to be brutal, absolutely brutal.
Next week is going to be amazing. We get to watch Team Healthcare again. They put on an absolute show yesterday. Unbelievable team synergy there. We get to see Team Never Stop go up against SEAL Team Panda, I believe it is, which is going to be unbelievable to watch. The OCE team's really got a battle up there. And we get to see the Korean team as well, which we haven't get to see yet, afraid. So some big names, some big teams, and it should make for some really, really good gameplay. And then the bonus is, during the gameplay, you get some drops. Who doesn't want some drops? Let's be real. Who doesn't want some drops?
I will have my second monitor lurking there, getting ready to do the click the quick claim button as it pops up in chat. Absolutely. Because, like I said, we're gonna have a word. You know, I'm gonna message the BSG team and be like, hey, this is NvN. The crowd, they're here for a good fight and they're here to drop. So let's make sure we satisfy them on both fronts.
Absolutely. These aren't average teams. There's no reason that the drop should be average either. So get on the horn. Nikita, hello. It's me again. Get the drops going, mate. All right. We want some good stuff. We want some guns. We want some ammo. We want some armors. Come on, let's get it going. We're putting on a show. We're putting on some big teams. We want some big drops as well.
But Cringy, how will they know? Oh, we're doing the alley-oop. Are we ready for this? We're doing the setup. how will they know if we've gone live next week? How could they find out? How could Twitch notify them?
Well, you could always pop over to the channels that are live today. There's the NvN channel, there's the Spicy Bush channel, and there is a channel over on Billy, I believe. And drop them a follow, Afraid.
But
you know, if you
a
follow
follow
and
is
you turn on the
expensive?
bell. No, they're not actually. Believe it or not, follows are completely free. They don't cost you a cent, and it'll keep you up to date for when we go live so that you can claim your drops. Not only that, we have socials. There's Twitter accounts and Discords and all that good stuff because we don't want you to miss out on some drops. What happens if, what happens if there's a slick next weekend and you don't have it?
Ooh.
And then you're running out into the open with your packer, bang, you fall over because you missed out on your slick. So don't be a goose. Go and drop them follows. Don't miss out.
That's it. Could be a rookie mistake. Because I've seen that, and I've seen it time and time again. You get to the end of the broadcast, and people are like, "Oh, I only have 10% more until I get the slick, or I get the very fancy last drop." That could be you, unless you hit the follow button.
Absolutely. Make sure you're there from the start. Don't miss a moment of it. Claim them drops. Have some nice, sit back, relax. Be grateful that you're not up against Team China. Get your drops and enjoy your weekend.
That's it, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing everyone throwing their support behind their favorite team next week as they duke it all out for the chance to take home $10,000 or part of that prize pool. As we cut back over to our players now as they load in for round 4 of set 2, the show match between Team The Nest of the US and Team Never Stop of China.
10,000 smackers, Afraid. There we go.
Oh, I would not turn my nose up at that, I can tell you now. I'm sitting here going, I sure would love a 40-90. I feel like my share of a prize pool of that magnitude would definitely cover that, Cringy.
Oh, absolutely. I'd buy a lot of beers at PAX. That's for sure.
Our players swapping spawns again. We can see Team The Nest from the US to the spawn behind the night building, which means that we have Team Never Stop from China over in behind the school building, Black Pawn.
Are you nuts? What the hell?
I'm interested for this 4th round here, Afraid, because we seen it in round 2. CG ran straight out of spawn, jumped on the GL, aimed it, and then he waited. It's almost like he's practiced a strategy to be able to get them early GL kills.
You know what I think he's doing, Cringy?
I'm very intrigued to see if he could do it and pull it off this time. Because if he can, that may be the highlight of my day.
Oh, it is true. Seeing an MG, a grenade launcher, taking out someone in a tournament setting is absolutely wild. But I sat here and I realized, as I'm looking at this map of reserve that I have here, did you see that CG had the timing down for how long it would take Team The Nest to actually get their sniper up onto the dome, the track that leads up there? So he is there to counter their sniper player. Like, that is some 200 IQ plays right there, Cringy.
That just goes to prove that these teams are taking this incredibly seriously, Afraid. They have obviously practiced that during scrims. You don't just randomly be like, oh, I'm just going to aim it here and I have to wait this amount of seconds. They are putting the effort in. They are trying to figure it out. And if it works, boy, is it going to work.
Thank you.
Could be the advantage you need to win the round.
Huge. Absolutely huge. We're watching the timer ticking down now. Not long until both of our teams will be charging out of their spawns, looking to take the dub in the 4th and final round of set 2. The last of our regional matches, the show match between the Chinese team Never Stop and the US team AEST.
Alright, we are off.
You'll see where the like there's like a slight hill and there's a bush.
Our team charging out of their spawns. We see a very, very slight delay between the two tasks. Of course, Team China, Team Never Stop are broadcasting on Bilibili. If you're on Bilibili, be sure to jump over, drop them a follow, or whatever the equivalent is. Give them your support. And of course, down the bottom half of our screen, we have Team The Nest of the US.
Oh, Afraid we may get it. We may get it.
Oh,
Team Never Stop are pushing over. Moose is in a bush with the Mosin.
There's one.
Oh, I'm so excited, Cringy.
Bag.
There we go.
I think he's
Two
missed
just
it.
ran into the building.
I heard a call of tag.
Oh,
wait,
so close, but so far.
He's in the server drive.
Crowns going down. Federico taking him out early on as he pushed into the back of the technical building.
Dude. I almost had the head.
Federico absolutely bedded in there at the breach wall.
Heard a flare.
That MG, Cringy, unfortunately not taking any victims today.
Not today. But hey, there's always next week.
CG moving around on top of the medic right now, creep walking there, listening, looking. That is a scary place to be. But again, Team Never Stop. They're in a position where they can take a few more risks right now because they are up 3-0. They could clean sweep, but it really probably doesn't matter so much for them if they give up one match.
Let's just play time, get a kill.
No. Look, the angle that Firebird has on that MBSS backpack is filthy. You would never, ever see him there. That is disgusting.
Oh,
looks like he went
I am, look, I feel a little bit dirty. I feel like I'm going to need a shower after seeing this angle, Cringy.
Absolutely. Have a look at that. You're never going to see him there in that grass.
The green DVL ending into the grass as well, and I do not doubt that he is wearing that full green drip. Federico moving around, getting some shots on, fighting into the back of the basketball court. Closing the door.
Oh.
Pitbull going down. We can see CG moving around just below the scoped DVL of Firebird. We've just heard Pitbull has gone down to Federico. I believe we are now in a 2v4 situation, Cringy.
We are. Firebird is a long way away from the action, though. They're not going to know he's out there. They may be able to find Moose here, but they are not going to know about Firebird, and I do not think anybody is going to be able to spot him.
Guarantee you would have been dead.
在楼上飞。我知道。1楼是我。
Moose and Firebird still in position. Moose up on the roof of the night building. Firebird holding that incredibly dirty angle. Federico moving around swinging. CG taking shots over at where he thinks that sniper is. I believe that might have been very close to where Moose was. We're hearing the shots coming through.
I think they know Moose is over here.
They've had that audio, but we see Federico making a move around. We're seeing the torches.
I'm on single.
Putting those shots on. Just seeing Moose, like just a sliver of him right there.
I'm dead.
Going down,
I think.
I believe Federico is taking him out.
We are in a 1v4 situation now, if I'm not mistaken. Firebird, though, still in a very strong position. No, Moose actually going down by AA Lu.
Damage to body 2.
I thought you hit him more than that.
You got 3 hits.
4v1 situation here. Firebird still just out chilling in the grass. Getting a tan.
Firebird
taking his time. Enjoying the scenery.
But he's in an incredibly strong position. No one is getting to that bag without him knowing, mate.
No, he's in trouble here, but so are they if they try to go for that bag, afraid.
CG moving around, scoping. There is no hope of him seeing Firebird in that dirty, dirty spot. I love that. That is so good. I know there is no reason to go up there in an online raid, but that is a thing of beauty.
That is, yeah, look. I think I could have 3 hours looking on the map, and I don't think I'd spot him.
Not
that
at all.
angle that he is holding. But
look,
is it a good enough angle that he can take out 4 players before they can shoot that flare?
All I can say is, remember, it's a split second to pick up that bag. Your player model will freeze in place for that, like, 0.2 of a second, and that is all Firebird will need to put an M61 AVL through the skull of a Team Never Stop player.
Absolutely. And honestly, he's
Laying-
not left with many options here. He's a sole survivor on his team versus 4 incredibly talented players from Team Never Stop here. So this may be his only option, so why not take it?
Oh well.
Bingo. And laying down there, he got arm stamp up for quite a while. He will be watching the timer because they know they cannot grab that bag until the timer ticks over.
Exactly right. I don't think we're too far off the timer being active here. But still a
No.
little bit of what... Oh, the smokes are going out. We're seeing the green smokes being played again.
Dropping them a little bit earlier. Give that smoke a little bit of time to propagate.
Here.
The question will be, the moment that timer hits 20 minutes and Team Never Stop can grab the MBSS, are they going to go for it straight away? Or are they going to give it 10, 15, 20 seconds to try and bait out Firebird into giving his position away?
I think they're going to go straight away for it here. Federico with the perfectly bland smoke here on the ledge.
Okay.
He knows what he's doing.
This is going to be incredibly hard on Firebird here.
He's watching that timer. 20 minutes, 10 seconds. 10 seconds until they can grab that bag. He's lined it up. He knows where that MBSS is. He is ready to put... We see Federico jumping up.
Firebird doesn't even realize they're there because of the smokes.
Grabbing the flare right on the second. We see the shots going. Firebird not landing. Federico has broken away with that green flare, shoots it into the air, securing victory for today in set 2 of the show match between Team The Nest of the US and Team Never Stop of China. Cringy. Cringy. Wild. We just saw Federico taking shots from Firebird, now taking shots over at CG. Team China, look at him up on the roof there, clearly celebrating.
Just having a bit of fun for the rest of the lobby. They know they've got the win already. The flare's gone off. It is what it is.
Yeah, perfect team.
Incredible.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Wow. Unbelievable scenes from Team Never Stop there. 4-0.
They've got to be so thrilled with how that went. You know, they admittedly this was just a show match, so again we need to express our sincere appreciation to Team The Nest from the US coming back today off the loss to Team Expensive Healthcare yesterday, just to show that, you know, they are good, they are strong players, and they can be thrown into any situation and throw down with the best of them. However, not quite strong enough to take out Team Never Stop of China today, who showed that they are here, and they are here for one reason, and that reason is to try and take out the top spot and walk away with as much of that $10,000 US prize pool.
Yeah, look, no surprises here for me, honestly. Team Never Stop, incredibly strong team. Yeah, look, you have to be worried about them if you're coming up to them next week. I genuinely think they are the favorites to win the entire thing. We haven't got to see the Korean team play yet. I'm expecting big things from them also, but yeah, look, if I had to put the house on it, I'm betting on Federico every single time.
See, I'm going to go the other way, Cringy. I'm going to take what you said there and go in the other direction. My bet currently is on Team Expensive Healthcare. You know, they were an absolute standout for me, right? You know, we kind of looked at them and went, look, four Sherpas and Jip, all very, very competent players. I mean, if I was to go an individual, a 1v1 between both of these teams, I think that I would definitely also be in Team Never Stop's camp. But we saw Expensive Healthcare yesterday coming together and being able to pull some amazing plays out. The way they ran their 2-2 splits with Nick and Jip running the rotation and playing the aggression, while Makido and Gunador held the objectives. Like there was some big brain plays in there. But
Absolutely.
You're not, like, the other thing is as well, we saw between SEAL Team Panda and Team Sicario of OCE today, both teams, again, very, very competent, very aggressive players, great mechanical skills. They pulled all kinds of tactics out. They changed it from raid to raid to raid. And ultimately, it came down to that tiebreaker. 9 seconds in the decider.
9 seconds,
Meaning that
unbelievable.
both teams, super, super competent. I think that as we go into the semi-final round next Saturday, it could be anyone's game, Cringy. Anyone's game.
For sure. Anybody can have a good day and anybody can have a bad day. Only time will tell.
Exactly right. So again, if you are following along at home, thank you for being a part of our regional elimination rounds yesterday and today. We will be back again next weekend for the semi-final between Korea, China, the US, OCE. All 4 teams will be vying for the opportunity to be crowned the top dog, the #1 winner of this nation versus nation Pacific League tournament. They will all be taking part in, looking for the opportunity to take home some of that $10,000 prize pool. It's anyone's game at this point. We've seen some amazing plays from all 4 teams, both here in the regional eliminators, in the show matches, in the scrims leading up to this. Again, huge, so much coming, Cringy. I am so excited for next week. Any highlights?
Oh, look, I think the OCE battle has been my highlight over the last 2 days. It's just so close. The fact that it came down to 9 seconds is just unbelievable. So I think I'm going to have to go to the... might be a little bit of favoritism here, like just a smudge, but I think I'm going to have to go to the Battle of OCE for the highlight today.
Definitely. I mean, we saw a clean sweep from Expensive Healthcare, a clean sweep there from Team Never Stop, but OCE showed that they were fighters. They didn't have an easy run at it. They had to absolutely duke it out to the very end, and there was nothing in it at the very end here. But again, I need to reinforce next week here on the Spicy Bush Twitch, over on the NvN eSports Twitch, I believe even on Bilibili, we're going to have Twitch drops. Cringy, we're going to have Twitch drops here. So if you want to take part in that, and again, this is an OCE Asia and a friendly time slot. We're starting from 1 p.m. our time. We will be back next week broadcasting from the PAX Australia event. We will have drops on here. Make sure, follow the YouTube, follow the Twitch, get any notifications, switch on that bell. Make sure you do not run the risk of missing any of those drops. If you are relying on just seeing it coming up in your recommended, hey, if you lose half an hour and you don't get all the drops, that's on you. Make sure you hit that follow button, ring the bell, make sure you're here. If you want to see any of the highlights from this weekend, jump over to the Spicy Bush YouTube. We will have all of the highlights up there in a few hours' time. A rerun of this. If there were any bits that you missed where you look back and you went, that was a pretty wild play, I didn't see what happened there. It will be up there. It will be up there in, I believe, glorious 2K resolution. Big bit rates, nice and clean. None of this compression garbage from Twitch. So again, make sure you drop a follow in both spots there. Cringy, thank you very much for being here today and casting with me. Very much appreciate it. Thank you to both of all of our teams today for being here, putting on a show for everybody, everyone out in the crowd. Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for basically helping to create the foundational layer of Tarkov eSports. Looking forward to see what comes up next weekend, and obviously Arena following that. Again, we will see you all next weekend, and cannot wait to see what our teams are going to have to put on show for us.